the coast, at least on the roadways, you may see a little slushy accumulation on non-paved surfaces. And then farther north and west in the suburbs, we could see an accumulation of 1 to 3 inches, which again could lead to some slower travel. Highs ranging from 34 in some of the outlying areas to 39 in Midtown. Then snow ending early Tuesday night. It'll remain mostly cloudy, breezy, and cold. We'll drop down to 32 here in Midtown, but some 20-degree readings in the outer suburbs, so we'll have to watch for things icing up a little bit. Partly sunny, breezy, and chilly on Wednesday, high 42. Mostly sunny Thursday, high again 42. Intervals of clouds and sun on Friday with a high bumping up to 44, and then milder on Saturday with some sunshine, high near 50. Right now it's mostly cloudy. Temperatures range from 29 in Hyde Park to 42 in Bayside. In Midtown, it's also 42, going down to 36. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
Coming up, Sandy's financial impact on New York. WCBS News Time 4:11.
Liz.
Todd?
I want you back.
You're just saying that because I got a makeover to make me look hot, even though I was hot to begin with.
No. I miss those nights instantly watching TV episodes and movies online with Netflix.
We watched as much as we wanted.
Whenever and wherever we wanted.
So, you love me? Even if I put these glasses back on?
Wow, those are thick.
Instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
CBS News Time 4:12. New York is putting a dollar amount on how much help it needs from Washington to recover from the devastation done by Sandy.
The nearly $42 billion request includes $15 billion for New York City, $6 billion for Nassau, and $1 billion for Suffolk counties. Governor Cuomo says the impact is greater than Hurricane Katrina.
Because of the density of New York, the number of people affected, the number of properties affected, was much larger in Hurricane Sandy.
$9 billion of the appropriation would go toward preventative measures.
Getting this passed in the House is going to be important. Getting this passed with Republican support is going to be necessary.
Cuomo said he'd be happy to host a tour of the damaged areas for congressional leaders. At the governor's East Side office, Marla Diamond, WCBS 880 News.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie plans to spend the next year leading efforts to rebuild his home state after Superstorm Sandy and running for re-election.
I'm running. I'm in this race. I'm in this race to win, and to win re-election and to continue to lead the state that I love and that I'm passionate about.
Christie has filed papers that will allow him to start hiring campaign staff and set up a campaign headquarters. A new poll shows 6 out of 10 registered New Jersey voters support a second term for Christie. Coming up in sports, the new-look rivalry between the Knicks and Nets goes into overtime. WCBS News Time 4:13.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Health insurance is on everybody's mind right now. You either don't have it or you have it and you think it's too expensive. And you probably feel like you don't have any options. We can help. We are InSphere Insurance Solutions. We offer health insurance plans from major carriers nationwide and likely have a plan that can save you money. Whether you're self-employed, on a COBRA plan that's about to expire, or you simply don't have health insurance where you work and you need it, InSphere Insurance Solutions can help you. Our agents will help you find coverage you can afford. InSphere Insurance Solutions is an authorized agency in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Plans may not be available in all states.
800-713-0182. 800-713-0182. 800-713-0182. That's 800-713-0182. WCBS News Time 4:14. WCBS weather. Rain and snow today. The high 39 degrees in Midtown. Right now, cloudy and 42 degrees in New York City. The 5-day forecast after sports.
At 880 on your AM dial and live on your computer and smartphone at cbsnewyork.com. Wherever you are, we are. New York's News Radio, WCBS 880.
Good morning, and thanks for starting the day with us. I'm Jed Lesher. Coming up on WCBS News Radio, I'll tell you about the return of the R train. On Wall Street, stock futures are trending higher this morning. The S&P 500 up almost 2 points. Business news in 10 minutes. WCBS News Time, 4:15. Time to get caught up on sports. And here is Gary Stanley.
All right, John. Well, the battle of the boroughs goes to Brooklyn.
The Nets will run it out to the champ of Brooklyn. Brooklyn, the Nets, in this first ever meeting between the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets, come away with the victory.
Nets beating the Knicks in overtime, 96-89, in a game that certainly lived up to its billing. First ever meeting between the Knicks and their neighbors now from Brooklyn. Marv Albert with the final moments on TNT. Both the Knicks and the Nets now 9-4, tied for the top spot in the Atlantic Division. It was Brooklyn native Carmelo Anthony with a big night for the Knicks, 35 points and 14 rebounds. Tyson Chandler had 26. More balance for the Nets. Brook Lopez, 22. Gerald Wallace and Deron Williams, 16 points apiece. Williams had 14 assists. Nets have now won 6 straight at their brand new home, the Barclays Center. Local college basketball, just 2 games on the schedule. Albany beat Wagner 66-63, and it was Monmouth getting by Lafayette 65-60. Monday Night Football in Philadelphia, the Eagle problems continue. They dropped their 7th in a row, losing to the lowly Carolina Panthers 30-22. Big night for Cam Newton. He threw a couple of touchdown passes and ran for 2 more. Meanwhile, the Eagles, Bryce Brown, 2 touchdown runs overall, 178 yards on the ground. Both the Eagles and the Panthers now 3-8. The Giants put running back Andre Brown on injured reserve after he suffered a broken fibula in Sunday night's win over Green Bay. Now it's possible Brown could return if the Giants advance far enough in the playoffs. The NHL and the Players Union have agreed to let federal mediators join their labor talks in an effort to finally end the lockout, now entering its 11 weeks. The sides are expected to meet again on Wednesday. Baseball, the Red Sox signed free agent outfielder Johnny Gomes to a 2-year deal. Gomes with 18 home runs a year ago for the Oakland A's. Sports at 15:45. Gary Stanley, WCBS News Radio 880.
We have traffic and weather coming up. WCBS News Time, 4:17.
Years ago, my doctor told me to take a Centrum Silver multivitamin every day. I tell him, sure, can't hurt, right? Then I heard this news about a multivitamin study looking at long-term health benefits for men over 50. And the multivitamin they used for the study, Centrum Silver. Hey, that's what I take. My doctor, he really knows his stuff.
The most recommended, most preferred, most studied. Centrum, always your most complete. A prior formula of Centrum Silver was used in the study.
WCBS News Time, 4:18. Traffic and weather on the 8th. Ken Daniels, how's it going on the roads this morning?
Well, we got some slow going as you make your way in the 5 boroughs. Construction partially the cause of this. Also some accident activity across the East River, Brooklyn-bound inner roadway of the Williamsburg Bridge. We've got the shutdown there, just the inner roadway, as they work on clearing the accident still. Now, the East Tube closure of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, the West Tube handling the 2-way traffic. Across the Hudson, you got the Holland 1-lane block to the outbound side, Lincoln Tunnel, the North Tube shut, and the Helix at the Lincoln Tunnel subject to lane closures each way. The George Washington Bridge, inbound lower level easy pass only. Same for the Palisades approach. Central New Jersey, Garden State Parkway construction, northbound 137 through the Union tolls, at least the 1 lane down. Northern New Jersey, there's some work on the Garden State Parkway, northbound 144 through 148 with the 2 lanes blocked. Now, Rockland to Westchester County looks all right on the New York State Thruway and at the Tappan Zee. The Taconic northbound at 141, accident there blocking the right lane, some slow traffic from the Sprainbrook. And then in Connecticut on the Connecticut Turnpike, you'll find some construction work southbound exit 16 through 14, blocking 2 lanes. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Here's meteorologist Matt Rindy with the 5-day forecast.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Low 25 to 30 across the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, cloudy and colder with periods of snow and rain. Little or no accumulation is expected on the city streets and at the coast. Snow in the northern and western suburbs will result in a slushy accumulation of 1 to 3 inches, primarily north and west of I-287. Highs will range from 34 in some of the outlying areas to 39 in Midtown. Snow ending early Tuesday night, then remaining mostly cloudy, breezy, and cold, low 32. Partly sunny, brisk, and chilly on Wednesday, high 42. Mostly sunny Thursday, high again 42. Intervals of clouds and sun Friday, high 44. A milder day Saturday with clouds and some sunshine, high up to 50. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
Across the tri-state this morning, the skies are cloudy and the winds are calm to light. 35 degrees in Westport, 39 in Belmar, and 42 in New York City. WCBS News Time, 4:20.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Do you owe the IRS back taxes? Do you have 3 or more years of unfiled tax returns? Here at Expert Tax Advisors, we specialize in tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. We have successfully mitigated these and many other technical tax issues for years. If you owe the IRS $7,500 or more, you need aggressive representation. We will contact the IRS on your behalf within 30 minutes of you becoming a client, and that's guaranteed. Protect your home, business, and family from tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. Call us today, 800-253-3917, and find the peace of mind knowing the IRS will not be knocking on your door. Call now for your free, no-obligation consultation. 800-253-3917. That's 800-253-3917. Remember, we will contact the IRS on your behalf within 30 minutes of you becoming a client of Expert Tax Advisors. Call 800-253-3917.
The holidays are here, and this year more than ever, it's a time to be with family. As the tri-state tries to get back on its feet from Sandy, WCBS will give away $1,000 every weekday, money you could use for storm repairs, holiday gifts, or to give to your favorite charity. So listen every weekday morning at 8:20 to hear how you could win $1,000 from WCBS 880. WCBS News Time, 421. More train service is returning to the city after Superstorm Sandy. The MTA says it's just days away from getting the R train running across the East River. The R is currently running in 2 segments with no service between Metrotech in Brooklyn and Herald Square in Manhattan after its tunnel was flooded by the storm. Full service is expected back in the next week or 2. Sandy is still claiming lives. A public works truck clearing debris in Sea Isle City has hit and killed a 69-year-old woman. She owned a house there. No charges have been filed. Officials from New Jersey shore towns are telling state lawmakers they need more help to rebuild after Sandy. WCBS reporter Peter Haskell spoke with the mayor of Belmar about plans there.
The beach in Belmar will have a new look next summer. The destroyed boardwalk will be replaced by a new one that's 12 inches higher, and for the first time there will be a seawall.
We anticipate installing 30-foot long sheets of steel, driving them into the ground 26 feet, and having them stick out of the ground 4 feet.
Does this impact aesthetics, and does that matter?
It shouldn't have a negative impact on aesthetics, and it absolutely does matter.
Mayor Matt Doherty says summer tourism is critical to the town's economy. Belmar sustained $130 million in damage from Sandy. In Toms River, Peter Haskell, WCBS 880 News.
And forget FEMA, insurance adjusters and construction cleanup. Some of the people hardest hit by Sandy are hoping one thing answers their prayers this week, a $425 million Powerball jackpot. It's a record. WCBS News Time, 423.
With all the different soaps and disinfectants on the market, it's easy to misunderstand each of their specific uses. I'm Pat Carroll for Parents Magazine with Raising Our Kids. Soap loosens bacteria and viruses from the skin and helps wash them down the drain. Sanitizers, on the other hand, kill the germs. Both methods are equally as effective, unless your child has any kind of debris on his hands, in which case soap is recommended. Both wipes and sprays are effective disinfectants, as long as you use a new wipe for each surface, and if they contain either ammonia, bleach, or ammonium compounds. In terms of natural versus commercial sanitizer is the answer. Lemon juice, vinegar, and baking soda just won't cut it if your goal is to kill germs. The only natural sanitizer that's been proven to kill 99.99% of bacteria is Thymol. With Raising Our Kids, I'm Pat Carroll, WCBS 880.
An update on business is next. WCBS News Time 424. WCBS News Time 425. Now business news. And here's Glenn Crespo at the Wall Street Journal.
John, an unprecedented debate over how the global internet is governed is set to dominate a meeting of officials in Dubai next week, with many countries pushing to give the International Telecommunications Union broad regulatory powers, even as the U.S. and others say such a move could mean the end of the open internet. The Food and Drug Administration said a proposed experimental drug being developed by a unit of Johnson & Johnson to treat a drug-resistant form of tuberculosis appears to be safe and well tolerated. J&J is seeking approval of a drug called bedaquiline as a tuberculosis treatment. So where were the best Cyber Monday online deals? Savings.com checked it all out and said Amazon featured up to 90% off some items. Kmart had up to 75% off. For the fourth straight day, there were gains in Tokyo for the Nikkei. It closed up 0.4%. I'm Glenn Crespo with the Wall Street Journal for WCBS News Radio 880.
U.S. stocks have pointed to a higher open this morning. The Dow is up 21 points. Business news at 25 and 55 past every hour on WCBS 880. WCBS News Time 426.
I heard it can make you sick and miserable.
I heard it can make kids so sick they have to go to a hospital.
I heard it could put the health of pregnant women in danger.
If you have something like diabetes or you're an older adult, I heard it can kill.
If you heard that influenza can seriously threaten your health, you heard right. Influenza can strike anyone, and when it does, it makes people sick, putting tens of thousands in the hospital. In New York City, over 1,000 people die from influenza every year. So who needs a flu vaccine? Everyone does. But anyone 50 or older, or children younger than 5, people who have long-term health problems or are pregnant are especially at risk. Vaccination is a safe and simple way to protect yourself and your loved ones. Flu vaccine is easy to find. Ask your doctor, call 311 or visit nyc.gov and search for flu. A message from the New York City Health Department.
What do you got for me, Doc?
The victim is male, mid-30s, cause of death, sudden shock.
Yeah, well, he was last seen browsing thousands of TV episodes and movies online with Netflix.
Explains the traces of disbelief in the brain, but this astonishment residue?
He was watching them all instantly.
Instantly? That's incredible.
Doctor? Doctor!
Instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
WCBS News Time 427. The New York City Council is poised to approve legislation this week that could clear up a mystery that has frustrated tourists for years: the actual cost of a pedicab ride. New rules are set to be approved today. Connecticut State Police say fatalities and highway accidents were up during the long Thanksgiving weekend over last year. The police say 3 people were killed and 410 accidents were reported. Last year, 2 people were killed and 389 accidents were reported. An investigation is underway into how shredded police documents got tossed as confetti at Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Some of the confetti included Social Security and license plate numbers, and some information appears to have come from the Nassau County Police Department. A Long Beach Island community that was among the areas hardest hit by Superstorm Sandy will finally reopen today. Long Beach Township Mayor Joseph Mancini tells the press of Atlantic City the reopening of the Holgate section is a sign the island is getting back to normal. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder will be in Connecticut today for an announcement of a new initiative to reduce gun violence in the state's major cities. While Connecticut's overall crime rate is at its lowest level since 1968, gun violence in its major cities remains stubbornly high. WCBS News Time 428. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Ken Daniels.
A lot of construction in Connecticut on the Connecticut Turnpike. You'll find that southbound exit 16 through 14. That is taking out the 2 lanes. Now, northbound exit 13 through 15. Construction work blocking the alternate lanes there. And then traveling on Long Island, looks like we've got the LIE in pretty good shape, but eastbound between 111 and Motor Parkway with a construction closure in place. 110 were shut down between Pine Lawn Road and Schwab Road with the construction. Go to the 5 boroughs, and some difficulty continues with the Williamsburg Bridge. That Brooklyn-bound inner roadway is closed as they work on clearing an accident. Also across the Hudson River, the Holland Tunnel, one lane blocked on the outbound side. Lincoln Tunnel, the north tube shut. You've got a helix that's subject to closure too both ways. So both ways could be lane closures still in each direction. And then we've got New Jersey Transit trains, light rail, and buses cross-honoring today with some impending inclement weather. And now here is the latest from the WCBS Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Lows 25 to 30 in the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, periods of snow and rain, little or no accumulation in the city streets and at the coast, 1 to 3 inches farther north and west. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
Right now it's cloudy in New York City where the temperature is 42 degrees, the humidity 41%, the wind is light and variable, and the barometer is falling now from 30.27. WCBS News Time, 4:30.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio. WCBS 880.
Good morning, I'm John Lesher, and here's the latest from the WCBS Newsroom on this Tuesday, November 27th. The city sanitation department is getting ready for some snow today. Governor Cuomo says New York will ask the feds for tens of millions of dollars to help cover costs associated with Superstorm Sandy. Online shopping reaches a record on Cyber Monday. UN Ambassador Susan Rice meets with Republican lawmakers today to answer questions about the Benghazi attack. In sports, the Knicks lose to the Nets 96-89 in overtime. And in Monday Night Football, the Eagles lose to the Panthers 30-22. WCBS News Time, 4:31. We've seen the devastation from Superstorm Sandy. In fact, many of us are still living with it a month after the storm hit. Now, New York State is putting a dollar amount on the destruction and the help it wants from Washington.
The nearly $42 billion request includes $15 billion for New York City, $6 billion for Nassau, and $1 billion for Suffolk counties. Governor Cuomo says the impact is greater than Hurricane Katrina.
Because of the density of New York, the number of people affected, the number of properties affected, was much larger in Hurricane Sandy.
$9 billion of the appropriation would go toward preventative measures.
Getting this passed in the House is going to be important. Getting this passed with Republican support is going to be necessary.
Cuomo said he'd be happy to host a tour of the damaged areas for congressional leaders. At the governor's East Side office, Marla Diamond, WCBS 880 News.
On WCBS News Time, 4:32. Holiday shopping continued to be strong on what some experts believe will be the biggest Cyber Monday ever. One report says internet sales are up more than 28% to $1.5 billion compared to last year. USC business professor Lawrence Harris says it's very encouraging and a little unexpected.
It appears that confidence is returning, and this is a bit surprising in the face of so much uncertainty.
Harris says don't expect this to continue if Washington fails to avoid the fiscal cliff.
If Congress and President Obama don't reach agreement on taxes and the deficit, then 5 weeks from today, rates for everyone shoot up. Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell says they're willing to look at deductions, but not raise rates on the wealthy, and says it's all up to the president now.
So we'll continue to wait on the president, hope that he has what it takes to bring people together and forge a compromise.
But Democrats say they want to extend low rates for 98% of Americans, and it's time to make the top 2% pay more. Bob Fuzz, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
WCBS News Time, 4:33.
'Tis the season for giving, which means you have to find some awesome gifts for the sports fans in your life. With CBS Local's Fan Shop, not only can you find great team gear, but you can also save money. Visit CBSLocalFanshop.com today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10 to get an additional 10% off. Get tremendous gifts for the sports fan on your shopping list at CBSLocalFanshop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more.
Guys, you've heard about Ageless Male, the natural supplement that helps boost testosterone levels within normal, healthy ranges. But now, the best testosterone product is even better. New and improved Ageless Male can help you feel more like you used to in your active life and in your romantic life. Because our upgraded formula has been clinically shown to increase your drive, desire, and performance. That's right, guys. Ageless Male has been clinically shown to boost performance. Cancel your plans this weekend. You're staying in. If you're ready to recapture the drive from your youth, now is the time to try Ageless Male because it's available risk-free. But you must call now. Just call 1-800-249-1889. Be the guy you used to be. Just call 1-800-249-1889. 1-800-249-1889. 1-800-249-1889.
WCBS News Time, 4:34. UN Ambassador Susan Rice will be calling today on Republican lawmakers who could vote soon on her nomination if President Obama asks her to succeed Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. That's becoming more of a possibility as opposition softens, despite lingering questions over her comments about the deadly 9/11 attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya. Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood says it's canceling a mass rally that had been planned in Cairo today in support of President Mohamed Morsi and his decision to give himself sweeping new powers. Morsi himself comes from the Brotherhood, which says it called off the demonstration to diffuse tension. But Morsi's foes are still planning a big protest of their own today in Tahrir Square. Mexico's new president, who takes office on Saturday, is in Washington today for a meeting with President Obama.
Border expert Dr. Arnulfo Valdivia, a top advisor to Mexico's president-elect, admits Mexico has criticized the U.S. for its drug consumption while not doing enough to intercept the weapons and money that travel south.
And I think what you can expect from President Peña Nieto and from his government is a very responsible approach. Mexico will do its homework.
Valdivia says Mexico's new president plans to beef up Mexico's enforcement of the border. Adrian Bard, CBS News, Mexico City.
WCBS News Time, 4:35. A federal health official says the public can be assured the conditions will be healthy when a New Mexico organic peanut butter producer is allowed to reopen. Salmonella poisoning traced to the Sunland plant has sickened 41 people in 20 states. The list of alleged clients of a Zumba dance instructor charged with using her main studio as a front for prostitution is up by 4 to at least 62. The accused clients of Alexis Wright include a former mayor, a former minister, a firefighter, and a high school hockey coach. A Minnesota homeowner who shot 2 unarmed teenagers during an apparent Thanksgiving Day break-in has been charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. The 64-year-old man told the police he feared the 2 had a weapon, but he admitted he fired more shots than he needed, including, quote, a good, clean finishing shot. WCBS News Time, 4:36. CBS News Time, 4:37. Traffic and weather on the 8s next.
Mom was always independent, so it broke my heart when I thought she might need a nursing home. Thankfully, I discovered a better choice. Health First manage long-term care options, provide the specialized, coordinated care Mom needs to help her stay where her heart is, at home.
Find out if a Health First managed long-term care plan is right for you. Call 1-855-552-4369. 1-855-552-4369. 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or visit hflongtermcare.org.
Newsies is the Tony Award-winning hit Broadway musical that gets you out of your seat and on your feet. Bloomberg News calls it a triumph, and the New York Times says Newsies is a musical worth singing about. It's the hit show that's making headlines, the #1 critics pick in New York Magazine, Time Out New York, and in Entertainment Weekly, which cheers Catch Newsies Fever. So get your tickets today. Newsies on Broadway 8 times a week. Visit newsiesthemusical.com.
Do you have student loans and are worried about making your payments? Stop worrying. Now Direct Student Aid can help if you are behind, if you are late, or even if you are in default on your student loans, we can help cut your payments fast. We provide student loan relief, getting you relief from your student loans right away. We will stop any harassing phone calls, stop any wage garnishments, and even remove any tax liens. No matter how much you owe or how far behind you are with payments, call our established Direct Student Aid toll-free assistance line right now. We can fix your student loan problems guaranteed. That's right. We guarantee we will get your student loan out of default and cut your payments right away. We have helped thousands of people just like you fix their student loans. Best of all, it's 100% guaranteed. Don't go another day with your loans behind or in default. Our specialists are waiting for your call. Call 800-395-5576. That's 800-395-5576. Again, call 800-395-5576. That's 800-395-5576.
WCBS News Time, 4:38. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s, and Ken Daniels at the Traffic Center.
All right, let's start with your ride in the 5 boroughs. Some difficulty continues as you make your way across the East River at the Williamsburg Bridge. Brooklyn-bound inner roadway closed. as they work on clearing an accident. Now, we've got some work at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. Still, the East Tube is shut. The West Tube handles the two-way traffic. Across the Hudson, the Holland, the one lane blocked on the outbound side. The Lincoln Tunnel with the North Tube shut. The Helix subject to lane closures each way. And the George Washington Bridge inbound lower level easy pass only. Same for the Palisades approach. Alternate side is in effect for today, except for the heavily storm damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. We've got some Brooklyn and Queens construction. BQB southbound Campbell Plaza to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, 2 lanes down. And in Queens on the LIE or eastbound side between Woodhaven Boulevard and Queens Boulevard, the 2 lanes are still closed. Central New Jersey looks closed as they work on clearing an accident. Now, we've got some work at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. Still, the East Tube is shut. The West Tube handles the two-way traffic. Across the Hudson, the Holland, the one lane blocked on the outbound side. The Lincoln Tunnel with the North Tube shut. The Helix subject to lane closures each way. And the George Washington Bridge inbound lower level easy pass only. Same for the Palisades approach. Alternate side is in effect for today, except for the heavily storm damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. We've got some Brooklyn and Queens construction. BQB southbound Campbell Plaza to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, 2 lanes down. And in Queens on the LIE or eastbound side between Woodhaven Boulevard and Queens Boulevard, the 2 lanes are still closed. Central New Jersey looks all right on the New Jersey Turnpike. Garden State Parkway northbound 137 through the Union Tolls. You do have the left lane taken away. We go to northern New Jersey and some work on the Garden State Parkway northbound 144 through 148 with the 2 lanes knocked out. And Rockland and Westchester County moving along okay on the New York State Thruway and at the Tappan Zee Bridge. Sprainbrook northbound into the area of North Road. We've got a right lane blockage there with an accident, some slow traffic from Route 100C. And also we've got an accident cleared to Connick Parkway northbound at 141. So things moving much better there now. Looks like the Williamsburg Bridge, Brooklyn bound inner roadway reopened. That accident cleared. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Here's meteorologist Matt Rendy.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Lows 25 to 30 in the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, periods of snow and rain, little to no accumulation in the city streets and at the coast, 1 to 3 inches farther north and west. I'm meteorologist Matt Rendy in the WCBS Weather Center.
In Midtown Manhattan, it's cloudy and 42 degrees. At the area airports, it's also cloudy, 38 degrees at Newark Liberty, 39 at Kennedy, and 42 at LaGuardia. Coming up, a question about American kids and sleep. WCBS News Time, 4:40. WCBS News Time, 4:41. Are American children getting enough sleep? CBS's Jim Chenevey has an answer.
Federal health officials say when it comes to sleep, U.S. children appear to be on target. A survey by the Centers for Disease Control found that babies slept an average of 12 to 14 hours daily. By age 4, that dropped to about 11 hours. By age 10, 10 hours. And then by age 16, kids were getting an average of about 9 hours sleep each night. That is right in line with what experts say they should be getting. Insufficient sleep has been linked to a long list of problems in children, from behavioral disorders to heart risks. Jim Chenevey, CBS News.
For the Rolling Stones, age is apparently just a number. The Stones are celebrating their 50th anniversary with a 5-date tour that includes concerts in New York and New Jersey. Just how old are the Rolling Stones? Well, their ages range in the mid-60s to the early 70s. That means that on average, they're about 2 years older than the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. The CBS show 2.5 Men is now being called filth, and there are calls for people to stop watching it. All of that is coming from one of the show's stars. Angus T. Jones, now 19 years old, has played John Cryer's son on the show for nearly a decade. He's slamming the show for its heavy emphasis on sexual innuendo in a video posted by a Christian church in California. So far, no comment from CBS. Next in sports, the Nets tie the Knicks for first place. WCBS News Time, 4:43.
Look, it's Lord Horsey. They say he has instant access to a wealth of entertainment, a most appropriate suitor. He is of Netflix. Lavishes $8 a month on thousands of TV episodes and movies. I heard he watches them over the internet.
Pish posh, it's the 1700s. Internet doesn't exist yet.
Oh, do hush, child.
Instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Have you heard? Proactive is better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive, your acne can heal, and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Don't miss this limited time offer. Give us a call at 1-800-533-3091, because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive risk-free, get 2 free gifts, and also receive free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. This offer won't last long. So call Proactive now and you'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial at Proactive, 2 free extras, and free shipping. Call 1-800-533-3091. This is our best radio offer ever. Get your risk-free 60-day trial at Proactive plus free shipping. That's right, free shipping. Don't wait. Visit getproactive.com or call 1-800-533-3091. That's 1-800-533-3091.
WCBS News Time, 444. WCBS weather, rain and snow today. The high 39 degrees in Midtown. Right now, 42 degrees and cloudy in New York City. The 5-day forecast after sports.
At 880 on your AM dial and live on your computer and smartphone at cbsnewyork.com. When you need to know, we've got you covered.
We thank you for listening. I'm John Lesher. Coming up on WCBS News Radio, a half dozen people face drug trafficking charges after a bust around Times Square. On Wall Street, stock futures are pointing to a higher open this morning. The S&P 500 is up almost 2 points. Business news in 10 minutes. WCBS News Time, 445. Time for sports, and here is Gary Stanley.
All right, John, it was only the 13th game of the NBA season, but call it an epic win for the Brooklyn Nets. For the first time since they moved to the borough, they played the Knicks. Crowd about split with their rooting interest, and the Nets won the game in overtime, 96-89. It was quite a night. Carmelo Anthony played 50 minutes for the Knicks, had 35 points and 14 rebounds, but missed a chance to win. At the end of regulation, Tyson Chandler, a career-high 28 points. Not to make excuses, Mike Woodson said, well, his guy's a little bit tired.
Well, fatigue set in, too. You know, our starting unit went a lot of minutes, and their starting unit went a lot of minutes, but they had a little more energy than we did at the end, and they made the plays, and we didn't tonight.
And as for the Nets, Brooke Lopez, 22 points. Gerald Wallace had 16. Darren Williams, 16 points and 14 assists. Nets now 7-1 at the Barclays Center. Both the Knicks and the Nets tied for the top spot in the Atlantic Division now with 9-4 records. Monday Night Football in Philadelphia, the Eagles, playing without both Michael Vick and LaShawn McCoy, lose again. They're 7th in a row. They fall to Carolina 30-22. Panther quarterback Cam Newton threw a couple of touchdown passes, ran for 2 more. Bryce Brown at running back for Philadelphia had both Eagle touchdowns and overall ran for 178 yards. Both teams now 3-8. The Giants putting running back Andre Brown on injured reserve. He broke a fibula in Sunday night's win over Green Bay. It's possible Brown, though, could return if the Giants last long enough in the playoffs. And the NHL and the Players Association have agreed to federal mediation in an effort to end the lockout, but no binding arbitration. The two sides expected to get back together again on Wednesday. And sports sponsored by Smart Car. Unhumbug this holiday. Now you can lease the gas-sipping Smart for 2 Pure Coupe for just $99 a month with only $999 down plus acquisition fee. Give us a shout at 1-800-SMART-USA for terms and restrictions and see if you qualify. Smart, unscrooge, uncar. Sports at 15 and 45. Gary Stanley, WCBS News Radio 880.
Traffic and weather is next. WCBS News Time, 447. WCBS News Time, 448. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Ken Daniels, how's the day starting on the roads?
Well, starting out with a much better ride across the East River. We had an accident at the Williamsburg Bridge. That Brooklyn-bound inner roadway has been reopened now. Also, we've got some construction still with the East Tube closure at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and the West Tube handling the two-way traffic. Then across the Hudson, you've got the Holland Tunnel, one lane blocked in the outbound side, Lincoln Tunnel with the North Tube shut, the George Washington Bridge inbound lower level, easy pass only, same for the Palisades approach. Alternate side in effect except for the heavily storm damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. Central New Jersey on the Garden State Parkway, there's some work northbound 137 to the Union tolls. Then northern New Jersey, you've got some construction work too. You're going to find that northbound side with 2 lanes blocked exit 144 through 148. Rockland, Westchester County are moving along on the New York State Thruway. Not bad at the Tappan Bridge. The Sprainbrook northbound into North Road. We've got an accident there blocking the right lane. And New Jersey Transit trains, light rail, and buses cross-honoring today because of the inclement weather conditions. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Time now to track the 5-day forecast. We do that with meteorologist Matt Rindy.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Low 25 to 30 in the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, cloudy and colder with periods of snow and rain. Little or no accumulation is expected on the city streets and at the coast. Snow in the northern and western suburbs will result in a slushy accumulation of 1 to 3 inches, primarily north and west of I-287. Highs ranging from 34 in outlying areas to 39 in Midtown. Snow ending early Tuesday night, otherwise mostly cloudy, low 32. Partly sunny, brisk and chilly Wednesday, high 42. Mostly sunny Thursday, high again 42. Intervals of clouds and sun on Friday, high 44. Milder Saturday with some sunshine, high up to 50. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
It's cloudy this morning. The winds are calm to light. The temperature's 34 degrees in Harrison, 37 in Great Neck, and 42 in New York City. WCBS News Time, 4:50.
When you need to know.
All eyes are on the important jobs report.
With so much at stake.
Salaries are still not keeping up.
We've got you covered. Listen every day to WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time, 4:51. New York authorities say 6 alleged drug traffickers have been indicted in connection with last month's seizure of more than 100 pounds of cocaine in the Times Square area.
The 6 indicted as cocaine traffickers could have passed for tourists if narcotics investigators hadn't known better. State police were on their trail and were watching as 2 of them strolled out of the Crown Plaza Hotel in the middle of Times Square carrying suitcases. Fernando Alvarado put his luggage in the trunk of a silver BMW and drove off. Luis Cuevas Muñiz put his suitcase into a parked livery cab, hopped in, and drove off. But the cab dropped him just a block away, and he walked back to the hotel without the suitcase. Investigators followed and stopped both cars and recovered 105 pounds of cocaine from the suitcases. The plane tickets of the defendants show that they've flown from San Juan, Puerto Rico to New York to deliver the drugs. Irene Cornell, WCBS 880 News.
At the Jersey Shore, Long Beach is playing hardball with people who have homes on the ocean. The Star-Ledger says people living on the ocean are being told that they refuse to turn over the land in front of their homes for a beach replenishment project. They'll have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to build their own dunes. And if the dunes don't go up, the residents will not be allowed to fix their homes. The town says it's enforcing an existing law, which was not enforced in the past. WCBS News Time, 4:52. A Bronx widower is considering a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Delta Airlines and at least one other carrier, saying they contributed to his wife's death while they were on vacation in Eastern Europe.
56-year-old Vilma Soltej weighed 425 pounds when she and her husband Danos left their home in New York for their native land of Hungary back in September. But with diabetes and kidney trouble, she gained a lot of weight while overseas. By the time she was ready to come home, she couldn't fit on the plane. So her travel agent put her on another plane. Still, she didn't fit. They tried a third flight. No luck. Vilma died days later. Now her husband is contemplating a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Delta. A spokesman for the Atlanta-based airline says all 3 carriers did everything they could to help her. Pete Combs, CBS News, Atlanta.
Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee will not be hosting a tree lighting ceremony this season. This follows last year's hubbub over what to call the State House Christmas spruce. Protesters crashed the tree lighting ceremony to criticize Chafee for referring to the tree as a holiday tree. The independent governor said the term was meant to honor the state's origin as a sanctuary for religious tolerance. WCBS News Time, 4:53.
Newark teacher's contract continued. With CBS in Education, I'm Dr. Steve Cusin. Day 2 of my analysis of this precedent-setting agreement. 3 provisions yesterday, 3 more today. Number 4, the contract permits some flexibility, perhaps a longer school year or longer day. Past contracts have been understandably ironclad to prevent abuses. Teachers and administrators will work together to try new things to improve student performance. Number 5, the contract builds in much-deserved raises, but postpones them for poor performers. I have said it repeatedly. Teaching offers its own rewards, but to attract the best and brightest to the classroom, we must put this profession on par with others. Number 6, the one provision which does concern me, merit pay. School districts, schools within districts, and classes within schools vary greatly. I'm very concerned about making comparisons when the playing field isn't level. However, as stated previously, a system will be developed, and I'm hopeful this thorny issue can be resolved. For News Radio 880, I'm Dr. Steve Cusin.
An update on business is next. WCBS News Time, 4:54.
Since 1897, Riverside Memorial Chapel, the largest source of Jewish funeral professionals in the New York area, has also been the largest resource for thousands of Jewish families demanding only the best in Jewish funeral service. Utmost quality, adherence to Jewish law, and compassion. Other chapels with less resources or bargain price chapels cannot match. Riverside never uses answering services as many other chapels do. Licensed funeral professionals are available 24 hours at 212-362-6600, enabling cost-effective ways for arranging or pre-arranging funeral services and helping Jewish families cope in today's economy. The sacredness and quality of a Jewish funeral service must never be compromised under any circumstances. This has been Riverside's true obligation to the Jewish community since 1897. Riverside Memorial Chapel, for generations, a symbol of Jewish tradition and uncompromising quality. Call 212-362-6600 anytime.
WCBS News Time, 4:55. Here's Glenn Crespo at the Wall Street Journal.
Eurozone finance ministers reached a deal to release the next tranche of bailout funds to Greece. That agreement aims to cut Greece's debt to 124% of gross domestic product by 2020. The deal allows Greece to receive loan payments of about $57 billion to be paid in 3 installments early in 2013. That's tied to Greece's implementation of the continuing measures. Investors say continuing efforts in the U.S. by lawmakers to compromise on a series of potential tax increases and spending cuts in the new year, combined with negotiations in Europe, are likely to drive the market's direction. 4 months after the city unveiled the preliminary plan to spur new development in the heart of Midtown, 3 prominent houses of worship in the neighborhood, St. Patrick's Cathedral, St. Bartholomew's Church, and Central Synagogue, are pressing to get their case to get a share of the cash bonanza that the proposal is expected to generate. Now, the trio have about 2 million square feet of air rights among them. It's a trove that could be worth about $400 million or more that they have never been able to sell. The Nikkei in Tokyo finished up 0.4%. I'm Glenn Crespo at the Wall Street Journal for WCBS News Radio 880.
U.S. stocks are trending higher this morning. The Nasdaq is up 6.5 points. We have traffic and weather coming up. CBS News at the top of the hour. And then Pat Carroll and Michael Wallace will have our top stories for this Tuesday, November 27th. WCBS News Time, 4:57.
How far would you go to help save someone's life? How about to your garage? If you have an unneeded vehicle, donate it to the Salvation Army. They'll pick it up for free, and the proceeds from its sale will help someone in the grip of addiction reclaim his life. To donate your vehicle, call 1-800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org. You will be doing the most good.
During these tough economic times, there is one thing you can count on: your education. Higher education will give you the chance at finding a better job and improve the quality of your life. Further your education and advance your career today. If you're looking to go back to school in the next 3 months and already have your high school diploma, start your search with the National Education Online Center. You'll get free expert advice, school information, and a free financial aid guide. NEOC will help you get matched to your right school today. Call 877-516-0727.
WCBS News Time, 4:58. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Ken Daniels.
Let's start with the ride in the 5 boroughs. Overall, not too bad. We do have some construction projects still in place, so they are working on clearing those. We've had the roadwork clearance in progress on the Cross Bronx Expressway traveling westbound into the Bronx River Parkway. Bronx River Parkway northbound, 177 through Boston Road. You've got the 2 lanes blocked. Now, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel got an east tube closure. The west tube handling the 2-way traffic. Across the Hudson River, minor delays at the Holland, Lincoln, and the George Washington Bridge despite some construction at the tunnel still. Alternate side is in effect for today except for the heavily storm-damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. Central New Jersey on the Garden State Parkway southbound Madison Hill Rest area through exit 130. The right lane blocked. Northern New Jersey, some construction in place too. The Parkway southbound Essex tolls to 145 with the 2 lanes closed. Now here's the latest from the WCBS Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Lows 25 to 30 in the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, periods of snow and rain, little to no accumulation in the city streets and at the coast, 1 to 3 inches farther north and west. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
It's cloudy and 42 degrees in the city, and despite the weather, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday. I'm John Lesher.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio, WCBS New York.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, November 27th. I'm Pat Carroll.
And I'm Michael Wallace. Here's the latest from the WCBS newsroom.
Salt spreaders are being loaded with up to an inch of snow expected in the city today, 3 or more in some outlying areas.
LIPA reaches out to customers affected by Sandy outages.
Another LIPA executive and a trustee resign.
We're live on Long Island with a reaction to some local mayors' criticism of storm coordination.
Governor Christie says he'll run for re-election so he can lead New Jersey's Sandy recovery efforts.
UN Ambassador Susan Rice heads to Capitol Hill to explain her initial comments on the Benghazi attack.
A better than expected Cyber Monday. Sales up 28% from last year.
Nets beat the Knicks 96-89 in overtime.
Monday Night Football, Panthers beat the Eagles.
WCBS News Time, 5 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Zettapani. UN Ambassador Susan Rice will be on Capitol Hill a few hours from now for what amounts to a job audition. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Rice is still thought to be the president's top choice for Secretary of State, so she'll be meeting with lawmakers to explain her comments about Benghazi in the days after the attack. The Republican opposition to her nomination appears to be softening, but they still want answers. She'll be joined on the Hill by acting CIA Director Michael Morrell.
2 key Republican senators, John McCain and Lindsey Graham, have accused Rice of misleading the public immediately after the assault in Benghazi by not calling it a terrorist attack. Another day off the calendar, and there's still nothing close to a budget agreement that would avoid big tax increases and spending cuts on January 1st. CBS's Bob Fuss has that.
No one thinks they're close to a deal, but talks are continuing to find a way around the fiscal mess that Congress created for itself in a series of deadlines on taxes and spending, all hitting 5 weeks from today. Mostly they involve staff-level talks between President Obama and Republican House Speaker John Boehner, though the two did talk themselves on the phone over the weekend.
Chris Christie, an early leading contender for the 2016 Republican presidential nomination, has decided to run for re-election next year as governor of New Jersey.
I'm running. I'm in this race. I'm in this race to win, and to win re-election and to continue to lead the state that I love and that I'm passionate about.
Christie's riding high in the polls in large measure because of the way he responded to the devastation from Hurricane Sandy. Overseas, teams from Switzerland, France, and Russia will get samples from the remains of Yasser Arafat to see if the late Palestinian leader was murdered. CBS's Robert Berger has the latest.
The Palestinian Authority exhumed the body of Yasser Arafat after a Swiss lab found a radioactive substance on his clothing. Like many Palestinians, Arafat's widow Suha believes he was poisoned by Israel.
I want that the whole world, the international community, the United Nations will be with me to discover this crime.
Israel says it was not involved in Arafat's mysterious death 8 years ago. Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
Nobel Prize winner Joseph Murray, the pioneering surgeon who performed the first successful kidney transplant, has died. He was 93. Murray's son Rick says transplants may be routine now, but that wasn't always the case.
Doing this surgery was not just a single operation. It was the result of years of preparation, years of scientific study, including experimentation with dogs to try out different surgical techniques.
Murray compared his first transplant operation to Lindbergh's flight across the Atlantic. The first numbers are in, and it appears Cyber Monday lived up to its advanced billing. Jay Henderson tracks online holiday sales at IBM Smarter Commerce.
We're seeing really great growth year over year, so up 25.6% versus last year.
S&P futures are up 2 points. This is CBS News.
Hey, dog, where's your owner?
Watching Netflix.
Yeah?
He can instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as he wants online.
Well, I know what you did on my lawn, and it's not funny.
It is to kids.
Well, what are their parents supposed to laugh at?
The sophisticated jokes. You know, like, that dog chasing his tail reminds me of politicians.
Instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as your family wants on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Live from Studio 11A at the CBS Hudson Square Broadcast Center, we are News Radio, WCBS HD and WCBS FM HD3, New York.
Cloudy skies, 41 degrees right now in lower Manhattan, and snow on the way. WCBS News Time 5:04.
Tracking the storm. Now the latest from WCBS News.
There's a snow alert in the city with sanitation workers loading salt spreaders to help with slippery roads as the day goes on, and they'll need plows in some of the suburbs. Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen joining us live now from the WCBS Weather Center. Craig, when does it start and how much can we expect?
Looking at some light snow starting to spread into northwest sections of New Jersey, and just flurryish for now. The morning commute will get a little slippery as we go through the morning. Not now, but probably after 7, 8 o'clock or so. During the course of the afternoon, it's a mix of wet snow and rain, and then it continues into this evening. That's when we might have to worry. The evening commute might also be tricky because as temperatures drop and the sun sets, it may be sticking, especially on the colder surfaces. We'll have more details coming up at 5:08.
Thanks, Craig. WCBS News Time 5:05. LIPA customers who went without power for days or weeks after Sandy won't have to pay for electricity they didn't get. Spokeswoman Elizabeth Flagler tells WCBS customers can wait until they get a meter reading.
They don't have to pay right away. What you can do is when you get your bill, you can call us at 1-800-490-0025, which is our customer service line, and provide an actual meter reading for a possible adjustment and a revised bill, which will be sent out after they call into the service center.
LIPA is allowing customers to make partial payments without penalty and is suspending the late fee until at least January.
Another Long Island Power Authority executive and a trustee say they're resigning. Vice President of Customer Service, Bruce Germano, says his resignation has nothing to do with criticism of LIPA's performance during Sandy. He says it's a purely personal decision. And trustee Christopher Damianos is resigning before his term expires next August, he says, so he can focus on his business.
Some Long Island mayors have complained about a lack of coordination in response to Sandy. WCBS Long Island Bureau Chief Mike Zierenax is live in Nassau County this morning with some reaction from the county executive.
Yeah, Michael, Ed Mangano, the Nassau executive, says he's proud of the county's emergency response after Hurricane Sandy, reacting to criticism from some village mayors that the county and state underestimated the need for manpower and equipment.
This could have been a storm that had a significant loss of life. I think it's a testament to every emergency responder that there was such a minimal loss of life.
Hindsight is 20/20, says Mangano, but Mark Weiss, mayor of Hewlett Harbor, says it's important we learn from this storm and be better prepared for the next.
That these storms are going to occur again is not the question. It's how we're going to be able to deal with them.
Reporting live in Bethpage, Long Island, Mike Zierenax, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time 5:07.
Life is full motion. Whether you're a stay-at-home parent, athlete, or work outdoors or in an office, from the time you get up in the morning, you are a body in motion. But when simple movements trigger severe joint pain, like walking, getting out of a car, or reaching for a lamp, it may be time to speak with a joint replacement expert at ONS, Orthopedic and Neurosurgery Specialists in Greenwich, Connecticut. Hip and knee replacement specialist Dr. Brian Cavanaugh and Dr. Frank Ennis and shoulder specialist Dr. Seth Miller are leaders in the field and use the most advanced techniques to help patients return to active lifestyles. Working with the Coordinated Joint Replacement Program at Greenwich Hospital, our surgeons have helped thousands of patients with arthritis and joint injuries to regain mobility. If chronic joint pain is keeping you from enjoying the best moments in life, speak with one of our joint replacement experts. Call ONS at 800-999-9667 or visit onsmd.com.
WCBS News Time 5:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Here's Ken Daniels in the WCBS Traffic Center.
Well, not too bad in the 5 boroughs right now. Wrapping up some construction across the Hudson at the Holland and the Lincoln. We do have some work ongoing across the East River at the 59th Street Bridge. Got some lower level construction in place with some lane closures. Keep that in mind. Also, the one tube closure, the East Tube at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, the West Tube handling the two-way traffic. Now, alternate side is in effect, except for those heavily storm damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. Central and northern New Jersey, well, some lingering construction on the Garden State Parkway. Looks like we still have the 2 lanes knocked out, exit 144 through 148 in the northbound side, but that's in the process of clearing, so all your major construction should be gone soon on the Garden State Parkway. We've also got New Jersey Transit trains, light rail, buses cross-honoring today because of some impending inclement weather. And then Rockland and Westchester County, we're moving along on the New York State Thruway, not too bad at the Tappan Zee Bridge. The Sprainbrook, watch out for some slow travel on that northbound side with a right lane blockage right into the area of North Road. And then in Connecticut, still some construction, Connecticut Turnpike, southbound exit 16 through 14. We've got at least the 1 lane closed. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Now the forecast, meteorologist Craig Allen.
But 2 to 4 inches possible, especially in the western and central sections of New Jersey, with temperature today mainly 33 to 38 and lows tonight 30 to 35, 20s in the suburbs. That could lead to some icy spots in the untreated areas. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. It's breezy, high 38 to 42. Right now, 41. That's probably the warmest temperature around. That'll drop quickly as soon as the precip starts. Humidity 48% and a northeast wind at 6. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
Coming up, clearing up pedicab confusion.
WCBS News Time 5:10.
'Tis the season for giving, which means you have to find some awesome gifts for the sports fans in your life. With CBS Local's Fan Shop, not only can you find great team gear, but you can also save money. Visit CBSLocalFanshop.com today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10 to get an additional 10% off. Get tremendous gifts for the sports fan on your shopping list at CBSLocalFanshop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more.
Hey guys, remember when you were 18 with unlimited energy and the stamina to do anything you wanted anytime? Wish you could relive your glory days and have the testosterone drive of your teenage years with the experience and skill you have today? Now you can with Progene Daily Complex.
This is Dr. Todd Karen from the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. Testosterone levels decrease in men after the age of 20. It's a major cause of the aging process. The effects include lack of energy, decrease in muscle mass, increasing belly fat, and decreased sexual performance, all of which impact self-esteem, confidence, and most importantly, overall quality of life.
Kick your drive back into high gear with Progene. Call 800-943-2706 today to get a full month absolutely free. No injections, no prescription needed. Progene is an all-natural herbal supplement that helps men boost testosterone production. Claim your free month supply now by calling 800-943-2706. That's 800-943-2706. Again, 800-943-2706. Shipping and processing charges apply.
WCBS News Time 5:11. Tuesday morning, we're sponsored by Betteridge.
What does a pedicab ride actually cost? That should be cleared up by new rules set to be approved today. Details from WCBS reporter Rich Lamb.
The legislation slated to pass today requires pedicab drivers to charge only by the minute and to prominently post rates. Councilmember Dan Garodnick says there have been abuses.
We saw examples this summer of a family that was charged $442 for a 13-block trip in Midtown. That's unconscionable. It has to stop. And the remarkable part about it was that it was legal under the rules that we currently have.
Garodnick says that's why we have to step up and change the rules. At City Hall,
if you have bad credit, you're not alone. Did you know that as much as 79% of all credit reports contain errors and incorrect information? Having great credit is more important than ever. Let nationally recognized credit expert Jason M. Kaplan help. Jason and his team of FICO experts will give you a free consultation and discuss how they can get your credit life back on track. Call 877-731-0082 for your free credit consultation and analysis. There's no upfront fees, and you only pay for results. Call the credit pros now at 877-731-0082.
Gift giving can be stressful. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, and the list goes on. Don't let your next special date sneak up and catch you unprepared. You're just a click away from the perfect gift at RedEnvelope.com. RedEnvelope.com has always been the place online to find extraordinary, one-of-a-kind gifts, but now it's even better with hundreds of amazing gifts. Whether it's cool gadgets or awesome sports stuff for him or a customized piece of jewelry for her, you'll find it all at RedEnvelope.com. Fast, easy, and perfect. What more could you ask for? How about 20% off everything, plus our signature red gift box free? Okay, done. Just go to RedEnvelope.com and enter promotion code FAST at checkout. No one needs to know how easy it was for you to find such a great gift. That's our little secret. You can even schedule that special gift delivery weeks in advance. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. So go to RedEnvelope.com right now and enter promotion code FAST at checkout to get 20% off everything, plus our signature red gift box free. Go to RedEnvelope.com, code FAST. That's RedEnvelope.com, promo code FAST.
All Richland.
Great battle in Brooklyn last night. Sports next.
Waiting for the precipitation in the city right now. We have clouds and 41 degrees, but there is a winter weather advisory in effect for much of New Jersey west of I-287. We get full details with Craig Allen coming up in 3 minutes.
At 880 on your AM dial and live on your computer and smartphone at cbsnewyork.com. Wherever you are, we are. New York's News Radio, WCBS 880.
Good morning, I'm Michael Wallace.
Good morning, I'm Pat Carroll.
Coming up on WCBS News Radio.
We get an update on the Black Friday bandits.
S&P futures up 3, business in 10 minutes.
WCBS Sports at 5:15. Brad Heller, they finally met at Barclays.
Hey, good morning, Pat and Michael. The first of many battles for New York. The Knicks and Nets inaugural meeting in Brooklyn, and the Nets come away with a 96-89 win in overtime, improving to 7-1 in their new home at Barclays Center. Jerry Stackhouse at the tie-breaking three-pointer early in the OT. One of his 4 threes on the night. Brook Lopez, 22 points, 11 rebounds for the Nets. Darren Williams added 16 points, 14 assists. A sellout crowd, 17,000 plus. More Nets fans than Knicks fans. Head coach Avery Johnson says it was a great atmosphere.
Every time, some sort of Knick contingency started to cheer, our fans got louder. And, this is what we've been dreaming about since I've been here. It's a nice feeling, and I'm glad we rewarded our fans with a victory.
And Carmelo Anthony, 35 points, 13 rebounds in 50 minutes for the Knicks, but he faded down the stretch. Tyson Chandler added 28. No other Knicks scored in double figures, though. Jason Kidd did not face his old team because of back spasms. Both teams are 9-4, tied for first place in the Atlantic Division. Monday Night Football, a matchup of the 2 worst teams in the NFC. The Panthers over the Eagles in Philadelphia, 30-22. Cam Newton, 2 touchdown passes. He also ran for 2 scores. The Eagles have dropped 7 games in a row. Meanwhile, Giants running back Andre Brown landing on injured reserve with his broken leg, but he could return at some point during the playoffs. Baseball, the Red Sox reportedly come to terms with free agent outfielder Johnny Gomes. He hit 18 home runs for the A's last season. Federal mediators will try and help the NHL settle its labor dispute. The first meeting's expected to take place tomorrow. It is day 73 of the lockout today. College basketball, Albany beat Wagner 66-63. It was Monmouth over Lafayette 65-60. Sports at 15:45. Brad Heller, WCBS 880 Sports.
Tracking the snow. Details next. WCBS News Time 5:17.
I heard it can make you sick and miserable.
I heard it can make kids so sick they have to go to a hospital.
I heard it could put the health of pregnant women in danger.
If you have something like diabetes or you're an older adult, I heard it can kill.
If you heard that influenza can seriously threaten your health, you heard right. Influenza can strike anyone, and when it does, it makes people sick, putting tens of thousands in the hospital. In New York City, over 1,000 people die from influenza every year. So who needs a flu vaccine? Everyone does, but anyone 50 or older, or children younger than 5, people who have long-term health problems or are pregnant are especially at risk. Vaccination is a safe and simple way to protect yourself and your loved ones. Flu vaccine is easy to find. Ask your doctor, call 311 or visit nyc.gov and search for flu. A message from the New York City Health Department.
Book your luxurious holiday getaway at the iconic Boca Raton Resort and Club and receive a $50 resort reward for every night of your stay.
Visit bocaresort.com/holidays.
WCBS News Time 5:18. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
And Ken Daniels in the WCBS Traffic Center.
All right, no major issues across the Hudson River at the Holland, Lincoln, and the George Washington Bridge. Looks like all the construction gone. We got the Bronx River Parkway still with some construction northbound. 177 through Boston Road. Still the 2 lanes are blocked there. And also in Queens, still 2 lanes closed on the LIE, your eastbound side between Woodhaven Boulevard and Queens Boulevard. Now, alternate side is in effect for today, except for those heavily storm damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. So just keep that in mind. And then we've got pretty good go across the East River. Earlier had an accident at the Williamsburg Bridge. That is all gone, so no longer an issue there. We've also got New Jersey Transit trains with cross-honoring happening today because of the impending inclement weather. So you'll find this on New Jersey Transit trains and also light rail and buses with the cross-honoring in effect. We go to New Jersey, some slowdowns in a couple of areas. We've got the Garden State Parkway, though, wrapping up your northbound construction exit 144 through 148. Rockland West, Chester County wrapped up very early on the New York State Thruway overnight each way into the Tappan Zee. That construction all gone. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Craig Allen with the 5-day forecast. How much longer till the snow arrives?
It is coming through eastern Pennsylvania and moving towards New Jersey now. There could be a few flurries in northern Jersey. Look for periods of wet snow, occasionally mixed with rain in some areas today. And as we go through the day, it'll come down a little bit steadier and heavier. And especially late this afternoon as the sun begins setting again, if it's still coming down at that good clip, that's when we could pick up our prime accumulations, which right now look to be in the coating to an inch or 2 range on colder surfaces for most places. But in the areas of the winter weather advisory, that's mainly west of 287 in New Jersey, it's approximately a 2 to 4 inch snowfall accumulation, especially in the higher terrain. Temperature today, 33 to 38. Low tonight, 30 to 35. Could get icy in untreated areas. It'll drop into the 20s, in fact, in some suburbs. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, breezy, 38 to 42. Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny, 40 to 45. Saturday, mostly sunny, and into the middle 40s. Right now, 41 in the city. Every place else is in the 30s right now, so that 41 will drop as soon as the precip starts. Humidity 48% and a northeast wind at 6. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
Coming up, the Facebook copyright hoax.
WCBS News Time 5:21.
Liz.
Todd?
I want you back.
You're just saying that because I got a makeover to make me look hot, even though I was hot to begin with.
No. I miss those nights instantly watching TV episodes and movies online with Netflix.
We watched as much as we wanted.
Whenever and wherever we wanted.
So, you love me? Even if I put these glasses back on?
Wow, those are thick. Instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
With the holidays here, we're all reflecting on what we've been through with Sandy.
WCBS will be giving away $1,000 every weekday. Money we know will come in handy for storm repairs, holiday gifts, or just to pay some bills.
Listen every weekday morning at 8:20 now through December 7th to hear how you could win $1,000 from WCBS 880.
WCBS News Time 5:22. Extra security is in place at Union County Target store as police search for 2 suspects wanted for robbing the store at gunpoint on Black Friday. CBS 2's Lou Young reports there is video of the robbers.
You could call it the money shot. Video of 2 robbers hauling large sacks filled with cash-stuffed envelopes through a back room of a Target store in the half hour before midnight on Black Friday. Patrons here are as rattled as the staff.
It's very frightening. It's nerve-wracking. Me and my daughter, my husband, we all shop here, so it's scary.
They came in posing as shoppers and slipped into an employee area to hide in a restroom.
Detectives think it may have been an inside job.
The feds have seized more than 100 domain names in a crackdown on websites selling counterfeit merchandise like baseball caps, sports jerseys, and cologne.
The victims are American businesses,
trademark and copyright holders, and the people who make legitimate products and sell them.
Customs official James Sparrow says a New York man arrested in the investigation is accused of making and selling knockoff Microsoft software on Craigslist.
WCBS News Time 5:23.
Larry Magid, CBS News and CNET Tech Talk. If you've logged on to Facebook in the last couple of days, you may have seen posts that start out, quote, "In response to the new Facebook guidelines, I hereby declare that my copyright is attached to all of my personal details." The post is predicated on the presumption that Facebook recently changed its copyright policy, but that's not true. The post, which lots of people have copied and pasted onto their Facebook page, is a hoax. To begin with, Facebook's policy says that you own the copyright to all your content, not Facebook, and that hasn't changed recently. But even if it had, posting something on your Facebook page wouldn't change the policy. That's part of the terms of service that users agree to when they sign up. If I thought that putting something on my page could make it so, I'd require Mark Zuckerberg to pay me $1 million every time I updated my profile. But I don't think I'd find a court that would award me that money. I'm Larry Magid.
Cloudy and 41 here in Lower Manhattan. Some snow already in Northwest Jersey where they could get 1 to 4 inches today.
WCBS News Time 5:24.
Do you suffer from pain like joint pain, muscle pain, back pain, or painful arthritis? Then you must listen to this important message. Nearly half of all Americans suffer from some kind of pain due to chronic inflammation. Anatoblock is a breakthrough supplement scientifically proven to quickly and effectively reduce inflammation and get rid of pain. Anatoblock is so effective in preventing excessive inflammation and reducing the pain, we guarantee you'll feel a significant difference in just a few days. Best of all, Anatoblock is now available to try for free. That's right. Call 800-591-5693 now and get out of pain absolutely free. Anatoblock is now looking for real-life testimonials for anyone who has back pain, muscle pain, or painful arthritis. Call 800-591-5693 to get your free supply and get out of pain today. Just call 800-591-5693 for details. Call today, 800-591-5693. That's 800-591-5693. Again, 800-591-5693.
WCBS News Time 5:25. This business update sponsored by BMW of Darien.
Jennifer Kashinka, Wall Street Journal.
Good morning, Pat and Michael. Eurozone finance ministers have reached a deal to release the next tranche of bailout funds to Greece. The agreement attempts to cut Greece's debt and allows it to receive loan payments of about $57 billion to be paid in 3 installments early in 2013. Fiscal cliff worries and rising household expenses are dragging down our financial security. Greg McBride with Bankrate.com says many of us are dealing with stagnant incomes and steadily increasing household expenses as we head out to holiday shop.
I think that's a clear indicator that people are concerned about the prospect for going over the fiscal cliff and entering a recession in 2013.
New York State and New Jersey need at least $71 billion to recover from the devastation wrought by Superstorm Sandy and prevent similar damage from future storms, according to their latest estimates. New York Governor Cuomo says by some measure Sandy was worse than Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. On Wall Street, S&P futures down a fraction. NASDAQ futures are up 5 points. I'm Jennifer Kashinka at the Wall Street Journal for WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time 5:26.
'Tis the season for giving, which means you have to find some awesome gifts for the sports fans in your life. With CBS Local's Fan Shop, not only can you find great team gear, but you can also save money. Visit CBSLocalFanshop.com today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10 to get an additional 10% off. Get tremendous gifts for the sports fan on your shopping list at CBSLocalFanshop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more. Do you suffer from pain like joint pain, muscle pain, back pain, or painful arthritis? Then you must listen to this important message. Nearly half of all Americans suffer from some kind of pain due to chronic inflammation. Anatoblock is a breakthrough supplement scientifically proven to quickly and effectively reduce inflammation and get rid of pain. Anatoblock is so effective in preventing excessive inflammation and reducing the pain, we guarantee you'll feel a significant difference in just a few days. Best of all, Anatoblock is now available to try for free.
free. That's right. Call 800-648-5148 now and get out of pain absolutely free. Anatoblock is now looking for real-life testimonials for anyone who has back pain, muscle pain, or painful arthritis. Call 800-648-5148 to get your free supply and get out of pain today. Just call 800-648-5148 for details. Call today, 800-648-5148. That's 800-648-5148. Again, 800-648-5148.
WCBS News Time 527.
The Hempstead Village Board of Trustees still hasn't signed a permanent EMS contract with North Shore University Hospital. Village officials have been unhappy about North Shore sending just one EMT, requiring a police officer to drive the ambulance.
So far this year, the NYPD's Crime Stoppers has paid out $72,000 for about 55 cases. That's compared to about $39,000 last year. AM New York reports the program gets a huge boost from social networks, which give an online mask to civilians who had feared for their safety if they snitched.
The R train might be running between Manhattan and Brooklyn in about a week. According to MTA officials, service between 34th Street Herald Square and J Street Metro Tech has been down since Sandy flooded the line.
The MTA holds a hearing in Melville, Long Island later today to discuss fare and toll hikes. It's the first in a series of public hearings. They were postponed because of Hurricane Sandy.
WCBS News Time 528. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
In the traffic center, Ken Daniels.
Let's do some transit up front. PATH trains, of course, are operating Newark to World Trade Center and Journal Square to 33rd, 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. Still no service into or out of Hoboken. New Jersey transit trains, light rail buses, all cross-honoring today because of some impending inclement weather. Now we go across the Hudson River, just the minor delays at the Holland, Lincoln, and the George Washington Bridge. Some construction at the tunnels wrapped up. We've got alternate side in effect for today, except for the heavily storm-damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens, of course. And then in New Jersey, not too bad on the Garden State Parkway. It looks like all your major construction projects have gotten out of there completely now. And then Rockland and Westchester moving along on the New York State Thruway and at the Tappan Zee. This report is sponsored by the North Face. The North Face Thunder Micro Jacket offers comfort from trailhead to summit. Compressible down insulation retains critical warmth while flash dry panels help remove sweat and regulate body temperature. Don't let winter keep you off the trail. Visit thenorthface.com to find the North Face store near you. Here's meteorologist Craig Allen with the WCBS Pinpoint Weather.
Precip closing in from the north, the west, and from the southwest. There may even be some flurries already in parts of northwest New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley. It is going to be a cloudy day with periods of wet snow, occasionally mixed with rain in some areas, especially near the coast. There could be a slushy coating to an inch or two by the time this tapers off this evening, but west of 287, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible, especially in the higher terrain. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Right now in the city, it's cloudy and 41. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
WCBS News Time 530.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio. WCBS 880.
Good morning, Tuesday, November 27th. I'm Michael Wallace.
Good morning. I'm Pat Carroll. Here's the latest from the WCBS Newsroom.
Snow is moving into the tri-state this morning. Areas north and west of 287 could get up to 4 inches.
We're live in Bell Harbor, Queens, where a school flooded by Sandy is reopening this morning.
FEMA's chief today tours storm-damaged areas of Connecticut.
Governor Christie decides to run for a second term.
I'm in this for the long haul.
UN Ambassador and potential Secretary of State nominee Susan Rice today will try to smooth things over with her critics in the Senate.
In sports, the Nets beat the Knicks in overtime at Barclays Center, 96-89.
Monday Night Football, the Eagles lose their 7th straight, 30-22 to the Panthers. WCBS News Time 531.
Tracking the storm. Now the latest from WCBS News.
We're getting a taste of winter today. WCBS Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen is back. So who gets what today, Craig?
You know, there's a whole bunch of caveats to the forecast here, saying that there will be some rain mixed in for the city and the coast, saying that it'll be all wet snow for the inland areas, but during the daytime hours may not stick all that much, especially on the paved surfaces. During the latter part of the afternoon or evening as the sun begins to set, that's when it could get very, very slick. Same thing for the morning commute. It's starting to approach now. Don't expect anything of significance, though, before, let's say, 7, 8 o'clock or so, even in our western suburbs. And through the course of the afternoon, temperatures will be hovering just above the freezing mark and then dropping during the evening. So we'll be watching it closely. But again, it looks like a coating to an inch or two on the colder surfaces, but in the higher terrain, west of 287 especially, 2 to 4 inches possible. More details coming up.
Let's head out to the roads. WCBS reporter Paul Murnane is out on Route 59 in Rockland this morning. What have you seen so far?
First snowflakes now, Michael. I've been on the road about an hour driving roughly west from Connecticut down the Merritt Parkway, 287, and across the Tappan Zee to the Thruway in Rockland, and didn't even see the first snowflakes in the headlight beams until west of the Palisades Parkway. So it's been coming down a few minutes now. Just a bare hint of wet surface now on the roads. It's not anything that's slippery out here yet, but also watching the temperature rise. We were at about 32, 33 on the dashboard thermometer in Connecticut. I've seen it go up to about 38, and now 36 degrees where I am here in the bus lot that's off 59 near Spring Valley. But just some barely noticeable now snow flurries coming down across the headlight beams, reminding us, yeah, there is snow on the way. We're live in Rockland County. Paul Bernane, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time 5:33. A school damaged by Hurricane Sandy in Belle Harbor, Queens is reopening this morning ahead of schedule. WCBS reporter Sean Adams is live at PSMS 114.
Yeah, that's right. 3 days ahead of schedule. And for children, it's really important because structure, routine, and predictability, they're imperative for young people. The upheaval caused by Hurricane Sandy turned lives upside down here. This morning, nearly 800 children are getting their school back. We're talking about PSMS 114 here in Belle Harbor. The building sustained massive water damage, so the floors had to be ripped up and replaced. The auditorium is still going to be off limits. There's still more work to be done. Some parents are concerned about air quality. The flooding gave off a sickening smell, so parents are anxious to see the test results of the air quality. Students had been relocated to 3 other schools where attendance has pretty much been spotty. We'll have to see what it's like today. Some families had to pick up and leave this area, as repairs are done to their homes. Citywide, you still have about 5,400 students who are in other schools. Reporting live from Belle Harbor, Sean Adams, WCBS 880 News.
FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate will be in Connecticut today, touring damaged areas of Milford, Fairfield, Bridgeport, and Norwalk. Congressman Jim Himes will join Fugate on that tour, but ahead of that, he'll be joining us live here on WCBS at 7:30. We'll ask the Congressman how the storm recovery is going in Connecticut and what the state hopes to get from FEMA.
WCBS News Time 5:34. Governor Christie filed papers yesterday to run for a second term. He announced his decision in Middletown while thanking first responders and volunteers for their work during and after Sandy.
I'm running. I'm in this race. I'm in this race to win, and to win re-election and to continue to lead the state that I love and that I'm passionate about.
Christie says he wants to lead the state through its recovery from Sandy, and that effort, he says, won't be finished by Election Day next year. He says his wife and 4 children all agreed he should run again.
WCBS News Time 5:35, 5 weeks and counting until we reach the fiscal cliff.
If Congress and President Obama don't reach agreement on taxes and the deficit, then 5 weeks from today, rates for everyone shoot up. Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell says they're willing to look at deductions, but not raise rates on the wealthy, and says it's all up to the president now.
So we'll continue to wait on the president and hope that he has what it takes to bring people together and forge a compromise.
But Democrats say they want to extend low rates for 98% of Americans, and it's time to make the top 2% pay more. Bob Fuzz, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
UN Ambassador Susan Rice will meet with senators today to explain why she initially said the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi was not terrorism. It's a big issue ahead of her possible nomination for Secretary of State. CBS News State Department correspondent Margaret Brennan says one of the senators is Arizona's John McCain, one of her biggest critics.
Ambassador Rice says she's got great respect for Senator McCain and his service to the country, but that some of the statements that he's made about her are unfounded. As CBS News reported, the references to al-Qaeda were removed from Rice's unclassified talking points by the intelligence community, not the White House or the State Department. But exactly who personally edited out those references is being probed by the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Acting CIA Director Michael Morrell will join Rice on her.
Hey, dog, where's your owner? Watching Netflix. Yeah? He can instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as he wants online. Well, I know what you did on my lawn, and it's not funny. It is to kids. Well, what are their parents supposed to laugh at? The sophisticated jokes. You know, like, that dog chasing his tail reminds me of politicians.
Instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as your family wants on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Her tour of Capitol Hill today.
WCBS News Time, 5:36. Traffic and weather together next. WCBS News Time, 5:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
And Ken Daniels in the WCBS Traffic Center.
I'm getting some word of some trouble in Queens on the LIE lower level westbound of the BQE. Looks like the accident there is blocking at least one lane. Got some stop-and-go traffic already from Maurice Avenue. Now across the Hudson River, just a minor delay still at the Holland, Lincoln, and the George Washington Bridge. Alternate side in effect for today, except those heavily storm-damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. Now we go to central New Jersey and moving along on the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike. Up to northern New Jersey, the same. Some earlier parkway construction cleared in a few different spots. New Jersey Transit trains will be cross-honoring today. Light rail and the buses and the trains, all because of the impending inclement weather. The PATH train, same as yesterday, with the no service into or out of Hoboken still, of course. Now, Rockland, Westchester County, moving along on the New York State Thruway each way into the Tappan Zee. And then we've got Connecticut Turnpike, southbound 16 through 14, but it looks like it's being cleared. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
And the latest on the snow, Craig Allen.
Mainly cloudy early this morning. It'll begin to snow in some of the western suburbs before dawn. Lows 25 to 30 in the Hudson Valley, 36 in Midtown. Later today, cloudy and colder with periods of snow and rain. Little or no accumulation is expected on the city's streets and at the coast. Snow in the northern and western suburbs will result in a slushy accumulation of 1 to 3 inches. That's primarily north and west of I-287. Highs ranging from 34 in the outlying areas to 39 in Midtown. Snow ending early Tuesday night, then remaining mostly cloudy, low 32. Partly sunny, brisk, and chilly on Wednesday, high.
And on Wednesday, the high will be 38 to 42. Right now, 41 in the city, but 30s everywhere else, so we're on our way down. It's cloudy.
Coming up in 2 minutes, thieves almost ruined the Christmas spirit for some Boy Scouts, but the spirit of the season prevails.
WCBS News Time, 540.
WCBS News Time, 541.
Important medical alert for users of antidepressant prescription drugs. If you or a loved one used certain antidepressant prescription drugs before or during pregnancy, including Zoloft, Depakote, Paxil, Prozac, Wellbutrin, Lexapro, Celexa, or Effexor, and have a child born with a birth defect such as cleft lip, cleft palate, club foot, or other heart, lung, and cranial defects, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation and future medical expenses for your child's condition. Call 800-322-7975 now if you or a loved one used certain antidepressant prescription drugs before or during pregnancy and have a child born with a birth defect. Time is limited to file a claim. Act now. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-322-7975. That's 800-322-7975. The call and consultation are free. 800-322-7975. This is an advertisement, not valid in all states. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. iLawsuit.com is an advertising group that represents lawyers advertising their services and is a free matching service for consumers. It is not a law firm or lawyer referral service.
Who's watching your home when you're not there? It could be a burglar. Burglars prefer to break in when they think no one's home, and no one will stop them. Don't be an easy target for intruders. Protect your home with a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Call now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Call right now and you'll also get 6 free sensors. That's 6 points of protection for free. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer at 1-800-317-1569. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. Call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-317-1569. $99 installation charge, 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 per month. Total package includes 6-door window sensors. Labor charges may apply. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now, 1-800-317-1569.
All this week, we continue to give away $1,000 to help you with storm recovery.
That's money that could help with storm bills or even just holiday gifts. So tune in this morning at 8:20. Hear how you can win $1,000 every weekday on WCBS 880.
WCBS News Time 542. Police in Ulster, New York, have no suspects after someone stole 60 Christmas trees from a lot set up by the Boy Scouts. CBS 2's Don Daler reports.
1:30 a.m. Thanksgiving morning, an Ulster police officer noticed something was wrong at the Boy Scout tree lot.
One of the patrols actually drove up to this location and saw the Christmas tree sign in the wooden gate area that fences it in knocked over.
Paul Vanderkrook oversees the lot.
I arrived at about 2 a.m. and somebody had pulled over the entire front of our stand. It looks like they had hooked a chain to it and just drove in.
60 Christmas trees were missing.
The trees were worth about $3,000, but when the grocery store down the street, Adams Fair Acre Farms, heard what had happened, it donated 60 trees to the Boy Scouts.
Shaquille O'Neal was in Manhattan yesterday launching a new business venture.
The former NBA star unveiled his men's jewelry collection at Zales in New York City Monday. Dressed as a salesperson for Zales, he showed surprised customers his new jewelry line. He even sold some pieces priced from $100 to $500.
CBS Money Watch correspondent Alexis Christophorus. By the way, Shaq's wedding ring is a size 15. His shoes are a 23.
Proportional. WCBS News Time 544.
Some snow now in the northern burbs in northwest Jersey. It'll get here in the city, too, with about an inch or less in the city, up to 4 inches north and west. 5-day forecast in 3 minutes.
At 880 on your AM dial and live on your computer and smartphone at cbsnewyork.com. When you need to know, we've got you covered.
Good morning. I'm Pat Carroll.
And I'm Michael Wallace.
Coming up on WCBS.
How LIPA is trying to give customers a break after Sandy.
S&P futures are flat. Joe Connolly is along in about 10 minutes with a full business update.
WCBS News Time 545 and sports with Brad Heller.
Well, Michael, 25 days later than expected, the Nets and Knicks squared off for the first time in Brooklyn, and the game lived up to the hype. Going to overtime, the Nets winning at 96-89 at Barclays Center. The Nets blowing a 5-point lead late in regulation, but started the OT on a 10-3 run. Jerry Stackhouse, the go-ahead three-pointer, he scored 14 points. Brook Lopez, 22 for the Nets. He was glad they could deliver for that pro Nets crowd.
No, it's great. You know, we knew coming in it was going to be there was going to be high energy in the building. You know, people were very excited about this game and they were talking it up. And we just wanted to come out and show people Brooklyn Nets basketball.
And Brooklyn native Carmelo Anthony played 50 minutes and scored 35 points, but he missed the potential game winner at the end of regulation. He says the Knicks just ran out of gas in that OT.
Well, they controlled the tempo in overtime. They made shots. You know, Stackhouse came up big for him tonight, hitting a couple corner threes. And I think that was the change of the game. I think in the, overtime we kind of ran out of, we kind of got fatigued a little bit.
And Tyson Chandler, the only other Knick in double figures with 28 points. Jason Kidd sat this one out with back spasms. Both teams tied atop the Atlantic Division at 9-4. Monday Night Football, 7 straight losses for the Eagles. They were beaten by the Panthers in Philadelphia 30-22. 4 touchdowns for Cam Newton, 2 passing and 2 rushing. Meanwhile, Giants running back Andre Brown placed on injured reserve with that broken leg, but there is a chance he could return late late in the playoffs. Baseball, the Red Sox reportedly signing outfielder Johnny Gomes, 2 years, $10 million. College basketball, Albany beat Wagner 66-63. Monmouth over Lafayette 65-60. Sports sponsored by Garmin. Drive with good cheer. Nuvi is here. This holiday gift-giving season, give a Garmin. Sports at 15 and 45. Brad Heller, WCBS 880 Sports.
Full details on our winter weather coming up with traffic and weather in a minute. WCBS News Time 547.
Trojan Man. During these hard economic times, there is no deficit when it comes to pleasure with Trojan brand condoms. Simply by investing in the Trojan Pleasure Pack, you'll be stimulating much more than the economy. After all, you deserve a condom pack that offers variety and affordability. Others might be tightening their belts, but in case you're doing the opposite, make sure you're covered. For life, liberty, and the pursuit of pleasure, you can count on Trojan, America's #1 most trusted condom brand.
Years ago, my doctor told me to take a Centrum Silver multivitamin every day. I tell him, sure, can't hurt, right? Then I heard this news about a multivitamin study looking at long-term health benefits for men over 50. And the multivitamin they used for the study? Centrum Silver. Hey, that's what I take. My doctor, he really knows his stuff.
The most recommended, most preferred, most studied. Centrum, always your most complete. A prior formula of Centrum Silver was used in the study.
It's every parent's worry. Sick child and you can't reach your doctor. Well, Brooklyn parents can rest easy thanks to the pediatric emergency rooms at the new University Hospital, SUNY Downstate. This is Dr. Michael Lucchese. Our pediatric ERs are for the emergency care of children. Separate, super clean, with very short wait times and outstanding ER doctors. In fact, our doctors teach the doctors who practice in New York. More New York City doctors graduate from SUNY Downstate than any other medical school. ER doctors here are trained in a highly competitive program, specifically in children's emergency care. So when you're worried and up at night, the ER to remember is at University Hospital, SUNY Downstate, Litch, Central Brooklyn, and the Bay Ridge Urgent Care Center, where education and research are put into practice.
For a physician referral, 1-888-270-SUNY, 1-888-270-SUNY.
WCBS News Time 548. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Ken Daniels has you covered in the WCBS Traffic Center.
Remember the PATH trains, Newark to World Trade Center, Journal's Grid at 33rd, 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. Still no service into or out of Hoboken, and New Jersey transit trains because of the impending inclement weather today, cross-honoring the trains, the light rail, and the buses. Now we got alternate side in effect for today, except for those storm-damaged areas of Brooklyn and Queens. And in Queens on the LIE, we're doing much better on the lower level westbound into the BQE. Had an accident there. We had some backups. It's been cleared, so those backups are thinning out. Across the Hudson River, just the minor delays. Central and northern New Jersey, all your major construction wrapped up from the overnight hours on the Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike, and then Rockland and Westchester County. We're moving along on the New York State Thruway, and not a bad ride at the Tappan Zee Bridge. The construction that's usually in place overnight there, wrapping up very early, also because of the weather that's on the way. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
As for that weather, Craig Allen, 5-day forecast. Where is it?
It's periods of rain and wet snow developing today. We have light snow falling across northern sections of New Jersey and into the lower Hudson Valley, a small area that is just basically light flurries right now, but it will get steadier and more of the region will start to be covered by the precip as it moves in from the west and southwest. High today, 33 to 38, low tonight 30 to 35. So what does this mean for accumulations? During the daytime hour, it'll be above freezing and you'll have the daylight, and I think most major roads will stay just wet. However, as we get towards later this afternoon and into this evening as the sun sets, that's when we could pick up a slushy coating to an inch or two on the colder surfaces. And those of you west of 287 in New Jersey, it's a 2 to 4 inch snowfall, especially with elevation. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, breezy, 38 to 42. Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny, 40 to 45. Saturday, mostly sunny, high in the middle 40s. Right now in the city, it's cloudy. It's 41. That'll drop once the snow starts. Humidity 48% and a northeast wind at 6. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
WCBS News Time 551.
LIPA took a lot of heat for its response to Sandy. Now the utility is offering breaks to customers who lost power and don't want to pay for the days they were in the dark. LIPA's Elizabeth Flagler says customers can make partial payments without penalty.
Customers have an option to pay the full amount and be credited in the difference of the next bill, or they can pay what they think is appropriate and wait for the actual meter reading to pay the bill. There are no late payment charges. All late payment charges have been suspended through January 31st.
LIPA's website now has a video showing customers how to read their own meters and call in the readings. For owners of badly damaged homes, LIPA recommends they cancel their accounts with LIPA and open a new account once their home is repaired or rebuilt.
Some Long Island mayors have been blasting Nassau County's storm response, saying their towns and villages were left to fend for themselves. WCBS Long Island Bureau Chief Mike Cyranaks joins us live with reaction from County Executive Ed Mangano.
And Pat, the Nassau executive stands by the emergency response in his county in the days following Hurricane Sandy. Ed Mangano firing back at some village mayors who complained of lack of coordination and leadership.
I would take exception to that. I really, this is the first I'm hearing of this, other than the fact that there was a monumental effort here.
Mangano says the first priority immediately after the storm was to save lives. He said he was proud of the county's response and emphasized emergency response will be reviewed and improved where needed.
Certainly in the wake of a disaster, you always step back and look at best practices and what more can be done.
Reporting live in Bethpage, Long Island, Mike Cyranaks, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time, 5:52. It could be a plot right out of his hit TV show. A teenage actor is telling viewers to hit the power off button on the remote. CBS FM's Deborah Rodriguez has entertainment news.
Maybe two men are happy, but the extra half, not so much. In a new video posted online by the Forerunner Christian Church, 19-year-old Angus T. Jones blasts the show he starred in for the last 10 years.
Please stop watching it. Please stop filling your head with filth.
Jones makes $350,000 a week playing Jake Harper. No comment from Warner Brothers or CBS.
There's no such thing as a mistake.
French actor Olivier Martinez has quite a right hook. Photos of Halle Berry's ex, Gabrielle Autry, show him with a banged-up face after a confrontation with her current squeeze, Martinez, all over child custody. On the TV dance floor,
our three goddesses tonight have been astonishing.
Melissa Rycroft leads Kelly Monaco and Shawn Johnson heading into tonight's Dancing with the Stars All-Stars finale. 2 of the top 8 go home tonight on The Voice. And
this girl is on fire.
Alicia Keys flips the switch on a brand new LED tower light display at the Empire State Building. That's entertainment from CBS FM. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Some of us through the area have already begun seeing a little bit of snow, but in the city right now, just clouds and 41 degrees. Temperatures will drop as the precipitation begins. There is a winter weather advisory in effect for much of New Jersey.
Joe Connolly next with business. WCBS News Time, 5:54.
WCBS Business News at 5:55, sponsored by Optimum. It's Optimum or it's not.
Good morning, Joe Connolly, Wall Street Journal.
Good morning. Dow futures are down 10 points, and people still appear to be spending. Spending held up on Cyber Monday, even though people have good internet connections elsewhere now, too, not just at work. IBM says so-called Cyber Monday sales were up 27% from a year ago. And business may be turning the corner at law firms. Cravath Law Firm is raising bonuses by as much as 60% over last year, even though bonuses are still not back to as high as before the recession. But a consultant to law firms says business is the best in years for law firms that have established areas of go-to strengths. A company's core business is its go-to strength. There were a couple of deals. Apollo Investments is buying McGraw-Hill's education business. McGraw-Hill will concentrate on their core business of publishing financial information. And private investors who own Bob's stores are buying Eastern Mountain Sports, which was founded by 2 rock climbers in the 1960s. Congress may raise taxes, though. Realtors worry that home mortgage deductions could be capped if you earn above a certain income, and that certain income level could be $250,000 a year. Some Republicans say that's not rich. There's no telling yet what Congress might do in the next 5 weeks. And a number of you responded and said that you liked the idea behind yesterday's story about some banks giving bonuses for retaining employees instead of just pushing new products at them. I'm Joe Connolly for retaining customers. I'm Joe Connolly for the Wall Street Journal on WCBS News Radio 880.
And we'll help you get started on your commute. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute.
With so much going on in the world today, Cars for Kids is promoting random acts of kindness. Here's this week's featured charity moment submission brought to you by Cars for Kids.
With the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy leaving many to pick up the pieces, Catherine and her neighbors banded together to provide the most basic essentials to those devastated by Sandy. Hundreds of meals were cooked and delivered, and many opened their homes to displaced families. It's amazing what a community can do when they come together.
Like Catherine, you too can help make the world a better place. Click on the banner now to submit your act of kindness for a chance to have it heard on WCBS 880.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1-877 Cars for Kids. You'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Remember, that's cars with a K.
Dashing through the dough in winter money land. All I did was scratch to win $100,000. So now I'll book a cruise and make my spirits lift. I thank my Uncle Salvatore for buying me this gift.
This season, give New Jersey Lottery Holiday Instant Games. Choose from 5 for a chance to win up to $100,000.
Scratch and win instantly. It's not that hard to do, cause I'm in winter money land and soon you could be too. Yahoo!
Give or play New Jersey Lottery Holiday Instant Games. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WCBS News Time 5:58. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Good morning, Tom Kaminsky.
And good morning, Michael and Pat, and good morning to you drivers. We start off with some overnight work, which is still yet to be cleared in Suffolk County on the eastbound side of the LIE between 111 and Motor Parkway. Otherwise, the westbound side looks to be all right. The northern and southern parkways also look to be in good shape. We have delays just beginning to build. Not bad yet. Lincoln, Holland, GWB. The trip out of Rockland and Westchester at this point is also quiet southbound thruway getting to and across the Tappan Zee Bridge. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
Unhumbug this holiday. Now you can lease the gas-sipping Smart for 2 Pure Coupe for just $99 a month with only $9.99 down plus acquisition fee.
Give them a shout at 1-800-SMART-USA for terms and restrictions and see if you qualify. Smart, unscrooge, uncar.
Here's Craig Allen with the forecast.
And a few flurries already starting to get noticed around the area, especially across northern sections of New Jersey. Periods of wet snow occasionally mixed with rain, especially along the coast for the rain. And a slushy coating to an inch or two possible on the colder surfaces, but 2 to 4 in the higher terrain west of the city. More details coming up.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio, WCBS New York.
Good morning, Tuesday, November 27th. I'm Pat Carroll.
And I'm Michael Wallace. Here's the latest from the WCBS newsroom.
The tri-state area wakes up to a little bit of snow.
The city could get an inch, 3 or more, north and west.
The morning commute should be fine, but the evening rush could be tricky.
Security has stepped up at the Target store in Union Township, where police believe last week's robbery was an inside job.
A Queens school badly damaged by Hurricane Sandy is reopening today. We're live in Bell Harbor.
LIPA's vice president of customer service resigns in the aftermath of the storm.
UN Ambassador Susan Rice has a closed-door meeting on Capitol Hill to explain her initial comments about Benghazi.
Nets beat the Knicks in their first battle in Brooklyn, 96-89 in OT.
Monday Night Football, Panthers beat the Eagles.
WCBS News Time, 6 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Frank Sedapeni. Was Yasser Arafat assassinated? Swiss, French, and Russian forensic experts hope to find the answer in samples taken from the late Palestinian leader's exhumed remains a few hours ago. A Palestinian woman had mixed emotions about disturbing Arafat's grave.
We're very sad, but maybe to know the truth, to find out what happened, we need to have answers.
Forensic pathologist Stuart Hamilton says there's no guarantee answers can be found 8 years after Arafat's death.
The longer the interval between someone's death and the examination, the more difficult it is to get the information that you need, and the more difficult it's going to be to interpret it.
A Swiss laboratory found traces of radioactive polonium on Arafat's clothing, leading Palestinians to speculate he may have been murdered by Israeli agents. Israel denies that. In Washington, a few hours from now, UN Ambassador Susan Rice, a frontrunner to become the next Secretary of State, will face off with critics who've accused her of misleading the public about the attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya. CBS News correspondent Margaret Brennan.
Rice will meet with the 3 Republican senators in a secure room to discuss classified material, and the acting director of the CIA, Mike Morrell, will also help her answer some of those questions in this meetings and others on the Hill this week.
A former Tennessee school official is accused of running a massive scheme that helped teachers cheat on licensing exams. Live to CBS News correspondent Vicki Barker, what did this involve?
Federal prosecutors say Clarence Mumford Sr. paid teachers to take certification exams in other people's names in 3 southern states, charging customers up to $3,000. The scam allegedly lasted 15 years. More than a dozen others facing indictment. 4 Memphis teachers have already pleaded guilty to taking exams with fake IDs. What is not clear, just how many people now teaching in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi cheated their way into the classroom, Frank.
Well, protesters are occupying Cairo's main square for a 6th day and battling police again. Even though President Mohamed Morsi has stepped back a bit from the decree that gave him almost absolute power.
He met with a group of senior Egyptian judges yesterday, and he told them that his new immunity to the courts would only apply to sovereign matters. Now, the problem is nobody knows exactly what that means, and it certainly won't be enough to satisfy many of his opponents.
CBS's Holly Williams in Cairo. Here at home, most car buyers fell behind on, more car buyers fell behind on auto loan payments in the third quarter of the year, but Pete Turek with the TransUnion Credit Reporting Agency doubts it's anything to worry about.
We've seen this every year since we've been tracking it. It's a seasonal increase between the second and third quarters every year.
A time when back-to-school expenses and other needs strain household budgets. A forecast out today warns that global economic growth will be hesitant and uneven next year. Europe's debt troubles are expected to be a drag on healthier economies around the world. Ahead of the opening bell, S&P futures are down a point. This is CBS News.
Nerlman, I am a millionaire.
Oh, you should cheer up, Mr. Fernwell.
I'm a millionaire because my paycheck had 3 extra zeros.
Sorry, sir. I had a temporary doing payroll.
Not Bob from Account Temps?
No, sir. I tried some new agency.
Call Account Temps. They know what we need and will match us with a skilled professional.
I'll call Bob from Account Temps, sir. Right after I cash my paycheck.
Why, you...
Call Account Temps for your temporary accounting and finance needs. 1-800-803-8367. Account Temps, a Robert Half company.
Staples Copy and Print knows you need to promote your business.
Outdoor banners.
Detailing your one-of-a-kind product offering.
Trifold, full-color, double-sided brochures.
As you grow your business.
Business cards, postcards, car magnets.
And your customer base.
Design services, presentations, shipping.
So you go to the one place that has it all and prints it right.
Staples.
And right now, get 50% off photo cards and invitations. No coupon needed. Limited time only. Details in-store and at staples.com. Staples. That was easy.
Live from the CBS Hudson Square Broadcast Center in Manhattan, we are News Radio. WCBS HD and WCBS FM HD3, New York.
Well, some flurries have moved in nearby the city. We do still have clouds in lower Manhattan, 42 degrees. Tuesday morning, the 27th of November, WCBS News Time, 6:04.
Tracking the storm. Now the latest from WCBS News.
Now your morning commute will likely include a little bit of snow. Live to the Weather Center and Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen for the latest.
True, and from this point on, we will start to see more and more flurries. The larger area of precip is coming in through the Philadelphia area and heading on up into southwest New Jersey first. And it will get here during the mid and latter part of the morning. That's the steadier precip. It will fall as wet snow and rain off and on, mixed in some areas through the day today. And towards this evening, as the sun begins to set, the slushy coating that's the best time for a slushy coating to an inch or two on the colder surfaces around the city and the coastal sections, less south and east, more north and west. When we're thinking of western sections of New Jersey, will have the highest amounts this time, west of 287, a 2 to 4 inch snowfall. The rest of the forecast coming up at 6:08.
The slushy snow may make driving a bit slower this morning, especially north and west of the city. As Craig was pointing out, WCBS reporter Paul Murnane is on the road and joins us live. Where are you, Paul?
Pat, I made my way to Franklin Lakes, New Jersey from Spring Valley along the Thruway and 287 over about the past half hour, and really no problem. The only sign I really saw of anything sticking to the roads was on that long, elevated, curving, treacherous ramp that takes you from the Thruway onto 287. But south of Mahwah along 287, again, in about the past half hour, I've noticed the snow is really much less of a factor than it is just up the road. West of Spring Valley after 5:30, I thought the snow was really starting to take hold. And there was more snow noticeable between Spring Valley and Suffern than there was south of Mahwah along 287. But as you heard, this thing is really just getting going, and it's going to be a factor all through the day and perhaps much more so later on this afternoon. And the dashboard thermometer holding steady at about 32, 33. So what's coming down right now, although it's light, could freeze on the roads, but haven't had any problems so far. The roads seem to be in very good shape. Just watch out for that ramp that takes you on the 287 from the thruway. Reporting live in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, Paul Murnane, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time 6:06. The Target store in Union Township has added extra security after a late-night robbery on Black Friday. CBS 2's Lou Young says the two suspects are still on the loose. Police believe they have ties to someone inside the store.
The men kept their heads down when shopping and wore masks later on. They had at least one gun and a plan that seemed a little too perfect.
It would lead me to believe that they had inside information as to Target's business workings or the layout of the store or how things are going to happen that night, which comes from an employee or a friend or family or someone who had the inside info.
Police have started interviewing employees over the weekend. They're hoping the security video will jar loose a tip from the public.
Witnesses say the suspects took off through a back door, then escaped through an opening in a chain link fence right onto Route 78.
WCBS News Time 6:07.
Email marketing works great for small business, and Constant Contact email marketing works best of all. How do we know? Because we have something the other guys don't have. Proof. According to an independent study, small businesses that use Constant Contact get 36% more of their emails opened and 60% more responses. The result? A whopping 29% more revenue. Put Constant Contact email marketing to work for your small business. Go to ConstantContact.com to sign up for a free trial today.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
WCBS News Time 6:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Here's Tom Kaminsky.
All right, let's go over to the inbound side. Lincoln, Holland, GWB in good shape, under 5 minutes all the way around. We have the overnight work on the LIE eastbound out around the area of Motor Parkway between 111 and Motor Parkway, and that should be just about picked up by now. The westbound side, we're beginning to build in through that area of Vets Highway. Again, a little bit of building volume in through Glen Cove Road, and then once you get into Queens, we are seeing the volume now beginning to build from the fairgrounds in through the area of Woodhaven Boulevard. We have delays just beginning to build southbound New York State Freeway, getting to and across the Tappan Zee Bridge, and no speed restriction yet at the Tappan Zee. I'm just checking that. The trip through Fairfield County, so far so good on I-95 and the Merritt Parkway. And I'm Tom Kaminsky with the Subaru All-Wheel Drive Ground Patrol. Another update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Now the forecast, meteorologist Craig Allen. Flurries moving closer to the city.
Several places reporting flurries now, like Teterboro, White Plains, back into Sussex, New Jersey, Rockland County. Definitely some light snow and flurries falling. This is going to be such an elevation type event. It's going to make all the difference as to how much snow you see by the time this event ends late this afternoon, or actually late this evening, I should say, and then moving out during. West of 287 in New Jersey, you'll be the area that sees 2 to 4 inches of snow, especially on the colder surfaces. Here in the city, and especially right along the coast, south and east of the city, across the island and down the Jersey Shore, wet snow will be mixed in from time to time, but it may not accumulate until late this afternoon or this evening when the sun sets once again, and it will be a little bit colder. And that's when the city and the coastal sections could pick up a coating to an inch or so. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, 38 to 42. Thursday, mostly sunny, 40 to 45. 42 in the city, but that will drop as soon as the flurries and light snow begins. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
Coming up, a clear sign Christmas is right around the corner.
WCBS News Time 6:10.
Attention hip implant patients. Are you in constant pain? Have you received a letter from your doctor about your implant? Have you had or need a revision surgery? Do you have high levels of metal, chromium, or cobalt in your blood? over 90,000 hip implant devices have been recalled due to defects and failures resulting in revision or replacement surgery. If you have a recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-449-4269 to see if your implant is affected by the recalls. If you or a loved one has a defective or recalled hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-449-4269. That's 800-449-4269. Protect your legal rights today. Call 800-449-4269.
This is an advertisement, not valid in all states. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. iLawsuit.com is an advertising group that represents lawyers advertising their services and is a free matching service for consumers. It is not a law firm or lawyer referral service.
WCBS News Time, 6:12.
Thanksgiving is in the rearview mirror now, and the spirit of Christmas is quickly taking over the city. Tonight, it's the 8th annual tree lighting ceremony at Bryant Park. Then tomorrow, the big one, the tree lighting ceremony at Rockefeller Center.
The early reviews are in, and they are very positive about the new temporary ferry service between Staten Island South Shore and Manhattan. Began yesterday morning as a way to help ease some of the transportation problems following Hurricane Sandy. City Transportation Commissioner Jeanette Sadek-Khan tells WCBS the service may become permanent.
We'll assess the ridership. We'll see how it goes. I rode the service. It was terrific. We had over 248 people just in the morning rush hour alone, which I think speaks to the demand for this kind of service.
For now, the ferry is scheduled to run for just 8 weeks.
The New York City Council today is expected to pass a bill regulating fares on pedicabs.
In August, a Texas family was charged $442 for a 13-block pedicab ride. Councilmember Dan Garodnick says today's legislation will allow pedicabs to only charge by the minute. The rates will be posted, and a timer will hang from the seat of the driver for the passenger's benefit.
They can follow along precisely how many minutes they have been in that pedicab, and they will know exactly what they're going to be charged.
Said Garodnick, we want no surprises at the end of the pedicab ride. At City Hall, Rich Lamb, WCBS 880 News.
Another LIPA executive has resigned after Sandy. Bruce Germano, the VP of Customer Service for the utility, says he's stepping down at the end of the year. He says last month's storm and LIPA's much criticized response had nothing to do with his resignation.
WCBS News Time, 6:13.
Getting gifts for the sports fan in your life has never been easier this holiday season thanks to CBS Locals Fan Shop. We've got the jerseys and gear for almost every team in any sport. And if you visit CBS Locals Fan Shop today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10, you'll get an additional 10% off your purchase. Visit CBSLocalFanShop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more from CBS Locals Fan Shop.
Do you have student loans and are worried about making your payments? Stop worrying. Now Direct Student Aid can help if you are behind, if you are late, or even if you are in default on your student loans, we can help cut your payments fast. We provide student loan relief, getting you relief from your student loans right away. We will stop any harassing phone calls, stop any wage garnishments, and even remove any tax liens. No matter how much you owe or how far behind you are with payments, call our established Direct Student Aid toll-free assistance line right now. We can fix your student loan problems guaranteed. That's right, we guarantee we will get your student loan out of default and cut your payments right away. We have helped thousands of people just like you fix their student loans. Best of all, it's 100% guaranteed. Don't go another day with your loans behind or in default. Our specialists are waiting for your call. Call 800-395-5576. That's 800-395-5576. Again, call 800-395-5576. That's 800-395-5576.
Snow on the way in the city. Flurries getting closer. 42 degrees will be going down as the precipitation begins with a winter weather advisory for much of New Jersey. The 5-day forecast in 3 minutes.
At 880 on your AM dial and live on your computer and smartphone at cbsnewyork.com. When you need to know, we've got you covered.
Good morning, I'm Michael Wallace.
Good morning, I'm Pat Carroll.
Coming up on WCBS News Radio.
Why today's going to feel like the first day of school for some kids in our area.
S&P futures down about 1. We'll get a business update from Joe in 10 minutes.
WCBS Sports at 6:15. Brad Heller. It was pretty exciting at Barclays.
It sure was, Pat. The Knicks playing their first road game in New York. First meeting with the Brooklyn Nets. Plenty of Knicks fans at Barclays Center last night, but even more Nets fans, and they're the ones that went home happy.
The final seconds. Gerald Wallace holds it, and that'll do it. The battle of the boroughs goes to Brooklyn. Your final at Barclays Center. The Nets 96 and the Knicks 89 in overtime.
Chris Carino, the call, WFAN. The two teams now tied for first place in the Atlantic Division. Brooke Lopez, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 16 points, 14 assists for Darren Williams. Carmelo Anthony, the Brooklyn native, a game-high 35 for the Knicks in 50 minutes. Head coach Mike Woodson says his team just ran out of gas.
Well, fatigue set in too. You know, our starting unit went a lot of minutes, and their starting unit went a lot of minutes, but they had a little more energy than we did at the end, and they made the plays, and we didn't tonight.
Woodson on MSG. Only one other Knick in double figures. That was Tyson Chandler. He scored 28. Raymond Felton, 3 of 19 from the field. Jason Kidd did not play because of back spasms. Monday Night Football, 4 touchdowns for Cam Newton, 2 throwing, 2 rushing. The Panthers beat the Eagles in Philadelphia 30-22. That's 7 straight losses for Philly, who did not have Michael Vick and starting running back LaShawn McCoy, both out because of concussions. The Eagles and Panthers are both now 3-8. Meanwhile, Giants running back Andre Brown landing on injured reserve with his broken leg. He suffered the injury in Sunday night's win over the Packers, but Brown could return at some point during the playoffs. Baseball, you can bet David Wright was paying attention to the Rays contract extension for third baseman Evan Longoria, 6 years, $100 million, and that's on top of the $36.5 million Longoria is already owed. The new deal runs through the 2022 season. The Red Sox reportedly signing outfielder Johnny Gomes, 2 years, $10 million. He played last season in Oakland. Day 73 of the NHL lockout, the league finally turning to federal mediators to try and help with this labor dispute. Word is they'll get together tomorrow. College hoops, Albany beat Wagner 66-63. It was Monmouth over Lafayette 65-60. Sports at 15 and 45.
Hey, dog, where's your owner? Watching Netflix. Yeah? He can instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as he wants online. Well, I know what you did on my lawn, and it's not funny. It is to kids. Well, what are their parents supposed to laugh at? The sophisticated jokes. You know, like, that dog chasing his tail reminds me of politicians.
Instantly watch as many TV episodes and movies as your family wants on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
Brad Heller, WCBS 880 Sports.
Latest on the snow next, WCBS News Time, 6:17.
WCBS News Time, 6:18. Traffic and weather together on the 8th.
Going to be a slick one, Tom Kaminsky.
It is going to be, but at this point, so far, so good. We are in good shape along Route 80. We do have one note for you out in along Route 80, out around the area of Exit 4, out in Knowlton. That is where we're starting to see some of this snow. We do have a collision being worked on there on the eastbound side. One lane is blocked. Otherwise, we're in pretty good shape. Route 287 and 78, no big problems currently to report. Garden State Parkway, New Jersey Turnpike, also no big problems to report. The inbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel is beginning to build, about a 10-minute wait there. The inbound side of the Holland at 5 and the inbound GWB looks to be in good shape. Rockland, Westchester, we're good. Southbound Thruway getting to and across the Tappan Zee Bridge. We're at full speed there on the Tappan Zee Bridge. No big problems currently to report. Alternate side parking rules are in effect citywide, except in those hardest hit areas of Brooklyn and Queens where they will be suspended until further notice. I'm Tom Kaminsky with the Subaru All-Wheel Drive Ground Patrol. Another update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Start your morning off right at McDonald's. Get 2 sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles for only $3. I'm loving it.
5-day forecast from Craig Allen. Some areas already covered.
A little bit of light snow and flurries already falling, especially northwest of the city into parts of Rockland and upper Westchester County. Northwest New Jersey, the main area of precip is still coming on up from southeast Pennsylvania into New Jersey. And when that gets here, we'll have some pretty steady wet snow and rain mixed through the area. Elevation driven in terms of snowfall amounts around here today. The coastal sections will see that mix, but the temperatures will most likely stay above the freezing mark through the afternoon hours, and we're thinking right now that with temperatures in the mid-30s during the daytime, even the roads. The main road should stay wet. Towards this evening, though, there's the possibility of seeing some anywhere from a coating to an inch or two on the colder surfaces, the city and the coast. Those of you west of 287 in New Jersey, and especially as you start getting into higher elevations, once again, you're looking at a 2 to 4 inch snowfall here. Temperatures today, mainly 33 to 38, so if it's above that right now, like it is in the city at 42, it'll drop as soon as the precip starts. Low tonight, 30 to 35. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, 38 to 42, and the Land Rover Tri-State Retailers 5-day forecast. It stays quiet Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
Coming up, the story of a group of kids really looking forward to going to school today.
WCBS News Time, 621.
How far would you go to help save someone's life? How about to your garage? If you have an unneeded vehicle, donate it to the Salvation Army. They'll pick it up for free, and the proceeds from its sale will help someone in the grip of addiction reclaim his life. To donate your vehicle, call 1-800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org. You will be doing the most good.
'Tis the season for giving, which means you have to find some awesome gifts for the sports fans in your life. With CBS Local's Fan Shop, not only can you find great team gear, but you can also save money. Visit CBSLocalFanshop.com today through the end of the year and enter the promo code HOLIDAY10 to get an additional 10% off. Get tremendous gifts for the sports fan on your shopping list at CBSLocalFanshop.com today and use the promo code HOLIDAY10 to save even more.
I'm Donnie Wahlberg from the CBS drama Blue Bloods. I witnessed Superstorm Sandy slam into New York and have developed an admiration for the way New Yorkers look out for each other, but they can't do it alone. Visit nyc.gov to donate to the Mayor's Fund to advance New York City. CBS cares.
WCBS News Time, 622.
A Queens public school that suffered significant damage during Hurricane Sandy is finally reopening this morning. We go live to Belle Harbor and WCBS reporter Sean Adams.
Yes, the floors have been replaced. An external heating system is pumping hot air into the building. So PS MS 114 here in Belle Harbor, Queens is ready and waiting. Principal Stephen Grill just arrived this morning. He says his children, nearly 800 of them, they need to return to a routine.
Extremely important. Every day away, not having all the materials, not being in the classrooms, not having all our children, that has an immense impact on the school, on our children's education.
Yeah, there was extensive flooding in the building. The gym was wiped out, the auditorium. They lost all the musical instruments. So work has been done to replace the floors. They still need to do a lot of work in the auditorium and gym. The education department has given a thumbs up. The air quality apparently is okay. The question now is how many students will return here this morning. The principal estimates about 25% of the families have been able to stay here. Many other families have had to relocate out of the area. Reporting live from Belle Harbor, Sean Adams, WCBS 880 News.
2 years after closing 20 schools, the New York Archdiocese has released a list of another 26 elementary schools and one high school that are likely to be shut down by next June because of rising costs and low enrollment.
We have flurries edging closer to the city, 42 with clouds right now in lower Manhattan. And it will get colder with the precipitation moving in. Periods of wet snow occasionally mixed with rain in some areas through much of the day.
WCBS News Time, 624. Joe Connolly in a minute.
Do you owe the IRS back taxes? Do you have 3 or more years of unfiled tax returns? Here at Expert Tax Advisors, we specialize in tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. We have successfully mitigated these and many other technical tax issues for years. If you owe the IRS $7,500 or more, you need aggressive representation. We will contact the IRS on your behalf within 30 minutes of you becoming a client, and that's guaranteed. Protect your home, business, and family from tax liens, back taxes, tax debt, wage garnishment, and collections. Call us today, 800-253-3917, and find the peace of mind knowing the IRS will not be knocking on your door. Call now for your free, no-obligation consultation, 800-253-3917. That's 800-253-3917. Remember, we will contact the IRS on your behalf within 30 minutes of you becoming a client of Expert Tax Advisors. Call 800-253-3917.
WCBS Business News at 625, sponsored by London Jewelers.
Here's Joe Connolly, Wall Street Journal.
Dow futures are down 15 points. Business at law firms may have turned the corner. Bonuses at Cravath will be up as much as 60% over last year. But like so many things, they're still not back up to where they were before the recession. Median incomes rose slightly, but they're not back up to where they were 5 years ago either. And here's the other side of business owners who we've been quoting saying they cannot find qualified employees who want to work even part-time. MH emails, raise the pay then. She says people can't afford to take another part-time job. They may have 2 jobs already. There are no benefits and not enough time for them to look for a full-time job. A report says multifamily houses are selling better, and often it's one of the families that lives in the house that buys it. McGraw-Hill sold their education division to private investors at Apollo Group who say they're convinced education will keep growing because of the convergence of education and technology. Spending held up on so-called Cyber Monday. IBM says Cyber Monday sales were up 27% from a year ago. And now, after Thanksgiving, some nonprofit groups are calling today Giving Tuesday, an idea created by 92nd Street Y in the United Nations. And the head of the Animal Rescue League says almost half their donations come in November and December. I'm Joe Connolly for the Wall Street Journal on WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time, 626.
As a small business owner, you've probably heard how Constant Contact helps small businesses grow with email marketing. And you may be asking, could it really work for me? Well, consider this. Every $1 small business owners spend on email marketing puts $40 back in their pockets. So it's no surprise that 2 out of 3 of them plan to invest more in email this year. Now you may be asking, how can I get a piece of that action? Simple. Just visit ConstantContact.com to start your free email marketing trial today.
Liz.
Todd?
I want you back.
You're just saying that because I got a makeover to make me look hot, even though I was hot to begin with.
No. I miss those nights instantly watching TV episodes and movies online with Netflix.
We watched as much as we wanted.
Whenever and wherever we wanted.
So, you love me? Even if I put these glasses back on?
Wow, those are thick.
Instantly watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on all kinds of devices for only $8 a month with Netflix. Start your free trial today. See terms of use.
With the holidays here, we're all reflecting on what we've been through with Sandy.
WCBS will be giving away $1,000 every weekday. Money we know will come in handy for storm repair, holiday gifts, or maybe just to pay some of your bills.
You want to listen every weekday morning at 8:20 now through December 7th to hear how you could win $1,000 from WCBS 880.
The R train is expected to resume service between Manhattan and Brooklyn sometime next week. Service between the 2 boroughs was suspended after Sandy because the line's tube was flooded from floor to ceiling, causing severe electrical damage.
The MTA holds a public hearing this afternoon on its proposed plan to hike tolls and fares. The hearing at the Melville Marriott had been postponed by Hurricane Sandy.
WCBS News Time 628. Traffic and weather together on the 8s.
Here's Tom Kaminsky.
The southbound side of Tunnelly Avenue, right in the area of Route 3 in North Bergen, we had a collision being worked on there. 1 lane is blocked, and we are heaving out building at least at the inbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel. About a 15-minute wait there. The inbound side of the Holland with a 10-minute wait in the inbound GWB, under 5 minutes all the way around. We have the trip through Rockland, Westchester, not bad yet. Southbound Thruway to and across the Tappan Zee, full speed there at the Tappan Zee. We go out to Warren County on the eastbound side of Route 80, exit 4 in Knowlton. We had a collision being worked on there. 2 lanes are blocked. That's where we were starting to see some of that snow actually sticking or at least falling out in that area. We had just some building volume along Route 78 out in the Phillipsburg area. Otherwise, it's getting better as you get toward the area of Route 287 and toward the Garden State Parkway. I'm Tom Kaminsky with the Subaru All-Wheel Drive Ground Patrol. Bernie Vider has the Mass Transit update.
Right now, no major problems. New Jersey Transit will be cross-honoring tickets system-wide due to the expected bad weather. This report sponsored by Constant Contact. Do you ever feel like you've hit a roadblock when marketing your small business? Constant Contact helps you to cross that barrier with easy-to-use tools that grow your business. From email events, local deals, to social media promotions. Learn which product is right for you at ConstantContact.com. Here's your WCBS Pinpoint weather.
Well, the snow, it is sticking in the northern and western suburbs where temperatures are down closer to the freezing mark. Periods of wet snow, occasionally mixed with rain, especially in the city and along the coast. That'll keep our accumulations down to a slushy coating to an inch or two by the time it ends this evening, but 2 to 4 inches of snow, especially west of 287 in New Jersey. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
This morning's commute is powered by BMW of Manhattan, 57 and 11th, 67 Wall Street. Shop them last, BMWNYC.com.
WCBS News Time, 6:30.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio. WCBS 880.
Good morning, Tuesday, November 27th. I'm Michael Wallace.
Good morning, I'm Pat Carroll. Here's the latest from the WCBS Newsroom.
The city will get a light coating of snow today. North and west should see a few inches.
Mayor Bloomberg warned city landlords to speed up repairs on hundreds of buildings still without heat or power a month after Sandy.
County Executive Ed Mangano responds to criticism about Nassau's emergency coordination during the storm. We're live in Bethpage.
UN Ambassador Susan Rice meets with senators on Capitol Hill this morning to answer questions about the attack on Benghazi.
Cyber Monday sales exceed expectations.
Nets beat the Knicks in overtime to grab a share of first place in the Atlantic Division.
Monday Night Football, Eagles lose their 7th in a row, falling to the Panthers. WCBS News Time, 6:31.
Tracking the storm. Now the latest from WCBS News.
Well, we're getting a taste of winter this morning. Chief Meteorologist Craig Allen says snow has begun falling and will continue to do so throughout the day.
From this point